Alright, so first glances at the map, the mines look fair. The haunts will have to check. Possibly not quite fair for that. Let me check real quick. 1, 2. Alright. Oh. Well, game crashed. Alright. Thank you for the subscription. Let me confirm that. Yes, Feeman Blue, thanks for the subscription. Game crashed. Unusual. That pretty much never happens. I'm gonna figure out what's up here. I'm gonna go to this. Well, I'm just gonna leave it like this. Yeah. The game never crashes, so I don't know what happened. We'll get back into it very shortly. It wasn't a very fair map. There was a lot more hunts for the right side than the left side, so it would have been a anyways. Alright, here we go. Let me message them really quickly. And just a moment. Alright, I'm going to go to the stream overlay for just a moment. We will get this sorted. All right, guys, we are back. Game one was completed. I'm going to cast the game, the recorded game, immediately after game number five. So you'll still get all the theatrics of the game, and you'll get all the information about it. Um, we are going to wait for Harrison. He's going to co-cast the game with me. Let me get in here. Um, yeah. All right. So we're getting into it. Yeah. All right. So yeah. Brits is locked in by GiveUAnxiety. Not too much of a surprise there. Harrison is going to be joining me in just a moment. Oh, thanks for the subscription, Real Antonio. Appreciate it, man. All right, so I have the record game for game number one. We are going to do that for the fifth game, if you will. Harrison is joining. Should be just a moment, guys. All right, guys, we are back. All right, I am going to make sure. All right, Harrison, you're in here. All right. I will wait for you to talk, and I'm going to adjust your game, the volume of your sound, once you start talking.
Right, good evening, guys. Apologies, I had to do some work-related stuff.
It looks good. Yeah, your volume should be just right. So we're getting onto it. GiveUAnxiety has locked in Brits. KEVINITALIEN is yet to pick. Lumico is the map. Yeah.
Yeah, so unfortunately, I heard there's a bit of issues in game number one. I had some of the chats up on the side and Twitch chat, Discord chat, and unfortunately, it looks like we missed out. So, are we saving result for later, or do we know the result now?
We do not know the viewers don't know the result now.
Okay, so I'm not going to know the result. Let's just say this is going to be game one, shall we?
Yeah, sure. We can call this game number one.
Let's just say this is going to be game one. So this is going to be the first game between KEVINITALIEN, GiveUAnxiety. I assume this hypothetical game beforehand, GiveUAnxiety played a different civ apart from Brit, and Kevin played a different civ apart from India. But for all purposes entailed, was going to be India versus Britain on Lumarco, I guess.
Yeah, Lumico. Lumaco. Yeah, the very first game, the record game was already sent to me, and we will be casting that for game number five, basically. So immediately after this match finishes between KEVINITALIEN and GiveUAnxiety, Harrison and I, assuming you're still available, Harrison, we will be casting the recorded game.
Might be a bit late for me, but let's just go for at least three first now, and then it should be fun because I'm actually looking forward to this. I've been looking forward to this series all day. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, I'm really excited for it too. These players are both really good. They're gonna bring their best for sure.
So, welcome back, guys. We're spawning into Lumarco for our hypothetical game number 1 between KEVINITALIEN and GiveUAnxiety. We have Kevin spawning onto the west-hand side of the map, playing as the Indians in the colour blue. His opponent, GiveUAnxiety, spawning into the south as his favourite civ, the British. GiveUAnxiety fighting for the Nilla Ninjas. KEVINITALIEN fighting for the CMC. GiveUAnxiety up against a strong opponent here in Kevin. Kevin's a solid colonel, but he's been certainly putting in the hours recently, and he's improved so much lately, and he's had some good performances so far in the EPL. GiveUAnxiety has had a bit more of a tougher time as of late, so hopefully he can let his critics know that he's still a very, very strong player, and hoping to see a good kind of resurrection comeback performance from GiveUAnxiety. And I'm excited to see what GiveUAnxiety is going to bring to the table. Looks like he's going to go for an early trading post here on Lumarco, making use of the extra wood crates.
Yeah, the wood crates. Yeah, GiveUAnxiety has done. He's taken games off of arguably better players, but usually with his Brits. So his Brits is well known as one of his strongest civ. And we see Brits here. Brits versus India. Brits blind picked. India counter picked. It should be really interesting. Lumarco's an interesting map though. I think it's one of the better maps in the map pool that they're playing today for Brits. What do you think about it?
For this map, it's interesting. If you spawn with a wood crate start, you could go. You start off with 400 wood, which is instantly 3 manor houses off the bat, and that's a very large villager population you start off with. But GiveUAnxiety go for the manor house and the trading post. It looks like GiveUAnxiety has 65 wood remaining, which indicates a 400 wood start. And in this situation versus the Indians, I would prefer 3 manor houses instead of 1 manor house, 1 trading post. I don't imagine GiveUAnxiety will be doing something like 3 villagers, Virginia company on this map, considering that quite a lot of your hunt is forward out of your base. And it's a map, you do see mirrored resource spawns. It's a very fair map, but you've only got the starting hunt and 1 safe Guanaco hunt at the bottom of your base, but then you have to push out for more hunts. And the Indians' second age at Sepoys, Gurkhas, real strong units. I feel that GiveUAnxiety will... he loves his age 2, but I'm thinking age 3 here for GiveUAnxiety here, maybe a stronger option.
Yeah, he likes his H2 a lot. He's really good at booming just the right amount so that he has an edge over his opponents, and then making units just in time to defend. That's what he does really well. We'll see if if he's able to do that though. Like you're saying, the map spawns a little bit different. The plus 100 wood starting to your starting crates automatically. So yeah, we'll see if he changes up his plan much, or if it's just kind of the same what you always see from him.
Well, I know exactly what GiveUAnxiety is going to say after this game if he loses. He's going to look at this situation right here and go, oh, the Indian player ages up with a fort in the middle of all my hunts. And at the moment, this placement of the aggro fort is so smart from Kevin. It's contesting 1 Guanaco hunt in the center, GiveUAnxiety's 3rd extra hunt. GiveUAnxiety's starting to herd in his 2nd. His 1st has already been herded from the south side. But Kevin, he's even pulled off that 1 villager from building the Wonder just to try and guide that hunt behind the aggro fort. And I think Kevin he's got a game plan for this. He's just going to be a stalling Indian wall of defense. He's going to build Sepoy, Sours, and just Sepoy, Sours, Gurkhas, any other unit. Probably stay age 2 in this case, but try and contain the British player and let the British player come to him in this case.
Yeah, it's going to be really important that GiveUAnxiety gets the right amount of units out at the right time, because if you overboom, do a huge manor boom, you're not going to have as much resources to gather. Your timing push isn't going to work as well. So we'll see exactly how he does it. He usually judges it pretty well, but yeah, that fort is excellently placed. Basically, and we see the wall on the left-hand side, so from KEVINITALIEN, so GiveUAnxiety isn't even able to raid from that side, if you will. Good game plan coming in from KEVINITALIEN for sure. We'll see what GiveUAnxiety does to try to adapt to it.
I give GiveUAnxiety credit here. He has herded in his 2nd Guanaco hunt in a relatively timely manner. He's got his market down. Gangster already researched, looking to drop down a few extra manor houses. Aged up with the governor, so has coin on the floor for hunting dog steel traps as well as early musketeer production. So he's got enough hunt in his base, enough time to kind of mass up. But KEVINITALIEN controlling those hunts very, very well. Dropping down a forward consulate. Looks like we're going to go for a British consulate timing push here from Kevin. If we look into text being researched, and we do see, not just yet, but the 300 export has just come in, and straight away the British consulate has been researched, and with still 400 exports in the bank, for nearly 500, we're going to see a batch of redcoats coming out on the floor very, very soon.
Do you like the decision here to get units out really quickly as KEVINITALIEN? Perhaps that will keep GiveUAnxiety from booming too much, but perhaps a strategy of just controlling resources would be very effective here. What do you think there?
I think you can do both. You don't have to overly push in, but you don't want to let Britain things uncontested, and you can see military population 16-5, both those elephants at full HP as well, and we just see sepoys and redcoats walking it straight into GiveUAnxiety's base, and you can't push out an army if the entire eco is bailed up, and GiveUAnxiety has the economic advantage, but no real way to get the military, and at the moment, wonder what his units in queue situation is like. He's got one musketeer, no villagers in queue, but with only 100 food in the bank, Minutemen's not coming in just yet. He's either to cut musketeers or cut villagers to try and squeeze Minutemen out, and another pickup from the Indian units there, and GiveUAnxiety is thinking, I can't engage this at the moment, and losing another unit.
Yeah, we see neither player... Okay, so KEVINITALIEN just got a sepoy in queue, but neither player had any military in queue for the longest time there. As it is, GiveUAnxiety still has no muskets in the queue. Well, I do like KEVINITALIEN's choice to pull back. I think he was just trying to see what opponent was doing, make sure he wasn't full-on manor booming. That's a good choice. You don't want... I mean, theoretically, a Britain manor booming could be pretty strong, and GiveUAnxiety likes to do that sometimes. So I like the choice to see what your opponent's doing.
He's going to go straight in again, and another 20 villagers bailed up in GiveUAnxiety's TC. We've already seen 4 villagers go down for GiveUAnxiety already, and Indians, they get villagers with every shipment. The longer this goes on, like this kind of trade, it's just going to go more in favour for KEVINITALIEN, but a bit of overcommittal. Minutemen do come out, however, looks like Kevin's starting to kite back with his units. Elephants now moved in to try and help the snail the Minutemen, more reinforcing sepoys, and he's actually turning to fire, trying to pick off a few more settlers, but those Minutemen going down, and still has a equal military population, 18 apiece at the moment, and is managing just to get out. He's going to trade off a few units and try and keep these guys ensnared, but all in all though, Kevin's pushed in and picked off another 2 villagers, idled GiveUAnxiety. GiveUAnxiety's now had to send 6 musketeers, and I think GiveUAnxiety would be happy with that base defense.
Yeah, I
but
think
he
so
must
too.
he must be conscious that he's lost villagers.
Yeah, for sure. We look at the economy between both players. It is up, or was up, for KEVINITALIEN 26-22 just a moment ago, before the 5 vills just came in for GiveUAnxiety. Early in the game, that is not expected. So very well done from KEVINITALIEN. But I think KEVINITALIEN is, GiveUAnxiety is somewhat okay with that trade. The Minuteman coming in, he does trade off fairly well. We look at the units lost, and we see 14 sepoy and 4 musketeers lost for KEVINITALIEN, and really just 1 musketeer, 1 longbowman, 5 Minutemen lost for military population on GiveUAnxiety's side.
Looking at KEVINITALIEN on his side, though, he has the market down, but no market text just yet, so his economy could do a little bit of T&C, shall we say, and a little bit of touching up here and there. I would like to see a few Gurkhas being trained from Kevin. Mass Sepoy, good units, strong units. However, GiveUAnxiety with upgradable musketeers and a few longbows as well, Gurkhas could trade very well, but look what Kevin's doing right now. Going for the complete trade routes control. He does have those 2 explorers. Okay, 1 explorer is resting in GiveUAnxiety's base, but he's trying to go for TP control of that 600 woods and possibly go for a stagecoach play to boost that eco further.
Yeah. I was thinking about that earlier. I almost said it. I would like to see some Gurkhas too. You see the opponents going only infantry. You don't see a stable. Adding some Gurkha. You don't have to go a whole lot, but even 5 to 10 Gurkha would help a lot. We do see, on the other hand, GiveUAnxiety going a lot of longbows. I think I like that choice. They're a good defensive unit, good at kiting, good at poking, but longbows are not as good versus heavy infantry as, say, Gurkha or other skirmisher type units.
Yeah, now that Kevin's seen all those longbows, he realizes he has to change his tactic, and mass sepoys at this point probably not what he needs versus that longbow mass. But this is a classic GiveUanxiety move. Raiding left side with those 5 musketeers, a couple of sepoys moving to defend. He has moved a few settlers into the town centre and managing to not lose a single villager to this raid. A couple of his musketeers will get picked off here, and trying to trade his off versus the sepoys. These musketeers will get picked off. Kevin now sent in foreign login, 2 TPs nearby the trading post as well, with Stagecoach coming in. The recalc economic population looking really good for Kevin. Kevin has the map, and GiveUanxiety is frantically chewing through his hunts very fast, and will have to push out soon.
Yeah, he doesn't have much left. He's got about a half a hunt left, maybe a tad bit more. Looking at the decks real quick, we do see that KEVINITALIEN has some of a seed deck, so GiveUAnxiety might be expecting that. He definitely needs to, from his perspective at least, needs to be pushing out really shortly. He might also possibly send some military shipments, some warships. But yeah, a little fight coming in from GiveUAnxiety over here in KEVINITALIEN's base. It looks like they're all cleaned up though. Looking at the units lost, we do not have any villagers yet killed off from KEVINITALIEN, although this one might be going down, and he saves it.
Yeah, so that's the other thing about GiveUanxiety, is he loves his raiding, and you can always predict that in most games that he's going to be sending musketeer raids. He usually sends most musketeers, but making advantage now, he realizes the Indian army is out of position. I was about to say how GiveUanxiety has lost a lot of musketeers, not really achieving much, but what he has achieved though is bought himself a window to push out. But the hunts are even behind the aggro fort in Consulate, and with a mass army of longbows, not many musketeers here, not the greatest siege potential here, and that army is moving back quite fast. We could see a few more unit shipments. We haven't even seen the 4 sour shipment being sent yet, and that'd be a great timing if Kevin can push him with his sepoys and send sours.
Yeah, definitely not very much siege there. We'll see what GiveUanxiety. This is definitely a critical point of this match. I really like how KEVINITALIEN kept on hurting those hunts back. The good notice on that there. It looks like the sepoy are pulling back. Yeah, he doesn't have the mass apparently, and the longbows just doing some work. Better unit composition from GiveUanxiety for sure.
Yeah, I'm actually surprised how this is going out. I think GiveUanxiety, he's not done it, but he's doing it. He's pushing out better than I expected. And this mass of longbows, it's a healthy number of units to deal with the sepoy mass from Kevin, and we still don't see any sours coming out from Kevin, but remember, 3 TP stagecoach behind this, not including the recalc, and there we go. That's the play. Kevin is aging up to the next stage, and he's going to be aging up with, I believe, the Charminar Gate. Yes, the Charminar Gate. So that will grant you 1 Mahout on age up. I'm expecting Kevin to gather the food required to send his 3 Mahout card as well, and push in with disciplined sepoys, 4 Mahouts in total, and maybe the 7 Urumi shipment tied in at the same time.
Yeah, it could. We could see that KEVINITALIEN is definitely under pressure. We look at the wall over here, and he definitely did that very quickly. But GiveUAnxiety, his hunts are nowhere. Like, he's sending villagers forward right now with his army, just to be able to get some hunts.
But it's quite funny, is it? Like, I can understand why he's frustrated, because this Guanaco hunt was there at the start of the match.
Yeah.
So it's gone for a bit of a walk.
Yeah.
But he's sieged one of the train posts with his longbows. He's just giving Kevin his time to get that age up in, and once that age up in, he does have 2 barracks at base, so should be able to queue up disciplined sepoys quite safely in one of these barracks, and he's just bringing the longbows and musketeers towards an elephant's death at the hands of the Mahouts on the age up, and maybe a shipment. He does need more food to get the shipments in queue, and does have a few animals still alive though to gather that food. I think Kevin should be in a decent place at the moment.
Yeah, India's H3 shipments are very good. Definitely has a lot of potential there. I would still like to see some Gurkha, I think. You see the opponent only building infantry. Where on a map like this, where you've closed it off, you know the opponent can only come from one side. Infantry are even better than normal due to not being able to be, the raids not being quite as effective. But we see the fighting going on here. The Mahout go in on the longbow. Definitely really good engagement there from the single Mahout, but I think KEVINITALIEN needed more army before he engaged this.
Yeah, you're certainly right with that. I know that he's under pressure, and I know that the army is there. Longbows can reach onto this mine, but he's fighting before that discipline sepoy upgrade's been completed, and fighting before his first H3 shipment comes in. He's trying his best to pick off units in a cost-effective manner, but with more reinforcing musketeers, he just doesn't have the food to send Mahouts at the moment, so I'm expecting like a 9 sepoy shipment. He's just cancelled a shipment and resent it again, and Kevin's taken a questionable trade at the moment.
Yeah, definitely questionable. He does send the Minutemen and or the regulars and the sentries. I'm guessing KEVINITALIEN will push this back, but he's lost a lot of villagers in this and lost his military. There's the Urumi.
Oh, there you go. There's the Urumi. This is going to be a big pop. I think Kevin needs to try and micro his Urumi his best as possible and try and spread his guys out onto the musketeer line. Once those muskets go down, they can just snare the longbows and try and clean these guys up. These units are so strong versus GiveUAnxiety's army. He's not trying to kite this. I think he's accepted that he's going to lose his units in player's base, and this is giving Kevin that time to kind of breathe, regroup, remass, and send more shipments behind this.
Yeah, this is definitely a high intensity match for both players. We see idle villagers from GiveUAnxiety, and we see lots of villagers and even idle villagers from KEVINITALIEN too. We definitely a lot of pressure on these players. We see the forward barracks out from GiveUAnxiety. He's trying to put pressure. He is H2 versus H3. Yeah, just the hunts. I mean, KEVINITALIEN's pretty much out of hunts too, so the next few moments will probably decide this match.
We can see a weakness here of the British composition, and it's not player related, but longbows real struggle to kite, and those Urumi were doing damage, and the only way GiveUAnxiety could pick them off if they were stood still and firing. So there was an opportunity for Kevin to push more sepoys in to try and pick those longbow up. Nice raid though from GiveUAnxiety, picking up these 4 villagers top side, but he's running away towards trying to throw down a defensive town centre on this hunt. This actually leads in Kevin to his villagers. I think Kevin's thinking, what is GiveUAnxiety doing on my side of the map? And he'd be happy with that actually.
Yeah. I mean, I think you'd kind of be expecting it, knowing how much he's paid attention to hunts this map. We see the villagers coming over forward to try to tank this. We know how important this fight is when the villagers are trying to tank shots for the military there. This fight is going to decide who gets these hunts.
Villagers punching each other, trying to build the town centre, but this Mansabdar sepoy providing so much unit buffs to the remaining sepoys here. That Mansabdar still tanking lots of HP, still at the full 400. More longbows coming in. Where's that next shipment from? Kevin, he's sending Gurkhas. He's already sent that 9 sepoy shipments. 8 Gurkhas now coming out into the field, but these are the colonial leveled units. And actually, I'm thinking Kevin is struggling with his mass. If he managed to wait out for a second shipment before engaging GiveUAnxiety in his base, he would have rolled this over, but actually GiveUAnxiety's pushing in with double-carded musketeers and pick off the sepoys.
Yeah, going age 3 and not really making a whole lot of use of it. He got the Urumi out, he got disciplined sepoy, but that's pretty much it. I mean, sure, he got 9 sepoy, 8 Gurkha, but I mean, you could have just stayed age 2 and made them 2. So perhaps the timing push from both players definitely affecting this. We see that KEVINITALIEN is basically he has 1 hunt that he has herded in, so he's okay for now, but definitely map control over to GiveUAnxiety, and the fighting seems to be going in GiveUAnxiety's way right now too.
Yeah, well, GiveUAnxiety is pressuring his resources, and Kevin has to fight this. And look at the units lost. 17 vills for Kevin. He never got that Eastern Medicine research down, while GiveUAnxiety, when he pulled those villagers in, had the greatcoats. And always a fan of this Great Coats discussion, but for 75 food, GiveUAnxiety bought a lot of extra tanking units there, while Kevin's eco is just going, and at the moment he just doesn't have the food to send the 3 Mahout card, which, you know, it's quite expensive, 1,000 food, but if you manage to get that shipment in, I think it's GG, but like, he's struggling to send his power shipments in, and sending 8 Colonial Gurkhas into longbows is not really what you need.
Yeah, that's not ideal. We do see, though, KEVINITALIEN does have the defender's advantage. I think he's going to be able to push this back. It's really, really close, though. This is about as close as you can ever get when it comes to fighting.
Yeah, that's because you have disciplined sepoys versus double-carded Colonial Musketeers. Strong units with the disciplined upgrade doing pretty well, but more longbows. He's already burnt through his 3rd Redcoat batch from the Consulates. More villagers again on this forward coin mine, getting pushed back. You have a coin mine at the back of your base. Okay, granted, only 800 coin, but this hunt as well, you really need your best to try and secure it, but it's just not enough military here from Kevin. Where's his elephant monks? These guys, 650 HP, could have been revived and pulled back. Finally, that town center was made, and a few villagers managed to get out. These guys could just hop in the town center and try and pick off the villagers with the 2 times damage. But still losing more vills. I think Kevin's just trying to run around this army, and I suppose if you can't gather in base, then just gather with the other villagers.
Yeah, this is a crazy match. We see it, like, just back and forth, but the resources, we see villagers gathering right beside each other, not fighting. I would like to see the TC Garrison, or at least, you know, sentries or regulars coming out, but this is a high pressure match for both players. Both players just like they're gathering at the same time. Both players are focusing on the fighting. They're gathering in the same place at the same time. This is, I think I like GiveUAnxiety's position here more for sure. 25 military population to 4 and 52 economy versus 41. Just a lot of villagers going down for Kevin over the last few moments.
We have an idle villager trying to build a dock. Looks like he bugged out there. Once that dock comes up, there's no way Kevin can really contest it, and doesn't. Okay, he does have some water shipments in deck, and quite a few actually just to contest if GiveUAnxiety goes into the water. But I believe he wants to try and contest the land first before even thinking about the water. But now, nice batch of sepoys near this town centre. This could be a good place to try and fight. But oh, look at these villagers having to run away from all these musketeers, and this is not a great situation for Kevin. More villagers being idled, more villagers going down to musketeers. Now trying to push some of these British villagers and musketeers away from his town centre. That town centre, Minutemen availability, spawn point as well. We could see a big catch here underneath Kevin's town centre.
Yeah, we see a lot of musketeers out from GiveUAnxiety. I like that choice at this point. 75 food, 25 coin, as opposed to 60 food, 40 wood, and they also do better against the Mahout that you kind of would expect at some point from KEVINITALIEN. This crazy match, though, we see musketeers facing chasing villagers who are chasing their own musketeers who are chasing their own opponent's villagers. So yeah, crazy good match here. We'll see what exactly happens in the next few moments. We see the Sepoy taking out a couple lone musketeers and Gurkha. KEVINITALIEN just trying to get anywhere to gather haunts. We see a little bit of raid in the back here.
Yeah, more musketeer raids, GiveUAnxiety's favourite move. Kevin's right next to his elephants. Hopefully he can revive these guys. These elephants act like a pseudo-cavalry unit for the Indian Civ, especially when you're focusing on mainly sepoys at this point, because you've got nothing else to really train. You do have 2 barracks, disciplined sepoy with the British East India Company upgrade, so both those explorers now back up. Longbow mass is a challenge. Armies in between town centre and sepoys. Hopefully Minutemen can be called here from KEVINITALIEN. Elephants moving into tank straight away, and does he have the resources? He has the resources. Okay, military waypoint sent towards here, units in queue. Okay, double batch of Minutemen coming out from Kevin. GiveUAnxiety's army is kind of trapped in between the 2 places, and I think this is going to be a nice pickup here from Kevin, but big batch of longbow behind, and those elephants are now gone. Yeah,
this is as close as can ever be. We see the longbow trapping the Sepoy, but the Minutemen, the regulars and the sentries, also trapping the musketeers from GiveUAnxiety. This is crazy. This is I don't know. I don't know who's in. I suppose, given GiveUAnxiety's economy, I would give him the advantage right now. But yeah, as far as the fighting goes, is super close. KEVINITALIEN finally taking the upper hand there. It seems. Good fighting from both players, though.
We have Kevin shipping a frigates to contest GiveUAnxiety's water. Anxiety already having 2 caravels there because he's ran out of shipments. But Kevin, he wants to send his remaining shipments of 3 Mahouts, but he doesn't have the 2 Mahout card, which is more affordable. Kevin just can't mass 1,000 food anytime soon, and continuously training Seapoys and trying to trade off. I don't think we'll ever see those units out in the field, but. And in Anxiety's Eco Pop, 74 now. Surely this should be a winning position for GiveUAnxiety.
Yeah, that's the way it feels for sure. KEVINITALIEN completely out of hunts. He should be going to rice paddies really soon. He has a couple mines left. He's got 800 coin on one, and then if he wants to grab this one, that's 2,000 coin. But yeah, I don't see what KEVINITALIEN can do at this point. Definitely well played going eat water from GiveUAnxiety. At first, I didn't think that was a super smart play, but he did that and he has a strong economy lead. We do see the frigate out from KEVINITALIEN, though, perhaps going to be doing some work there.
Don't look at the units lost tab. They'll give you nightmares when you sleep tonight. 41 villagers of Kevin has now gone down, and GiveUAnxiety doesn't need the water really. He has the eco lead on land. He has the 2 TP to 1. Kevin couldn't defend his training post, and Seapoy is now going to hand combat versus Longbowman. Nice pickup from Kevin, but this is again just trading off when you have the worst eco at this point, and GiveUAnxiety is slowly creeping ahead in the score and momentum. Military population in his favor, economic population, well, double at this moment. He still has lots of hunt. He has steel traps. He's even dropping a few mills at home, getting the mill upgrade while still having full water control. Okay, there's a frigate harassing, but once that frigate goes down, Kevin really doesn't have a way to kind of contest the water. Okay, he does 3 caravels, but contesting water.
He's still
great,
H2.
You're not really. No, KEVINITALIEN. He's got the 3 caravel in deck.
But
he's not really defending this push on the land, and there's still lots of eco on the land, lots of mines for GiveUAnxiety. He doesn't overly need to see, and now he's going to see rice paddies from Kevin. He'd be very happy to see that site, and that just lets GiveUAnxiety know that Kevin's bailed up. He's not gathering the good resources as the hunt, and it's because GiveUAnxiety's at all the hunts his side. That's why Kevin can't find any hunts.
Yeah, there's basically no hunts left on the map. Just one hunt right here, and that's basically it. So theoretically, GiveUAnxiety, if he didn't go water, would be pretty much out of hunts at this point too. We do see the SOAR popped for SOAR in H3. I don't know. I don't think I like the choice of sticking with Sepoy being the only unit that you're building. Of course, he's shipping other units, but that's the only unit that he's been building the whole game, KEVINITALIEN.
Well, I mean, you haven't got much choice at this point. You've got a disciplined Sepoy. Sepoy is stronger than Musketeers, but with a disciplined status. You had the Mansabdar Sepoy as well. You've got the British East India Company, as well as the Consulate HP boost. So those units from India are very, very strong. Sawa's quite low HP and kind of fall down very quickly to mass longbow, mass musketeer, and Gurkhas just didn't have the time to tech into, and Gurkhas into longbows not the greatest. Longbows very good versus other skirmisher style units. So Kevin was hoping for like a maybe a Gurkha, not Gurkha, Sepoy, Mahout composition. Could have gone intervention, Ottoman Husk, but doesn't have the intervention card in his deck, and yeah, he can only retrain Sepoys, but once that push came in from GiveUAnxiety in Kevin's base, and Kevin was losing all his villagers, he just never had that remass potential, and never had the bank to send the 3 Mahouts to break out, and if that shipment came in, that could have turned the game on its head. You saw how powerful that single Mahout was, picking off about 5-6 longbows, as well as tanking so much fire. Just imagine 3 of those on the field.
Yeah, I think 3 Mahouts could have totally turned that around. Perhaps, yeah, just didn't quite have the economy for it. Not sure, but yeah, great game. Definitely good choice from GiveUAnxiety to end up going water. Yeah, excellent game. We'll look at some of the post-game stats real quick. Anything jump out to you on that, Harrison?
Villager population once Kevin goes to the 3rd age goes from that 35 vil pop down to about 29, but continuously losing villagers throughout the game. It's not just that single push, but every time he was trying to push out, he was having to run villagers around from musketeers. GiveUAnxiety was hounding Kevin's heels and just did not allow Kevin to breathe. And I think, just imagine if Kevin actually, instead of instead of losing all those 14 Sepoy very, very early into GiveUAnxiety's base, just managed to keep at least 7 of those alive. Pushing in for a few Vil raids was quite nice, but if you manage to keep that military population healthy and get that contain going, GiveUAnxiety would have starved himself and would have had to push out as an aggro fort, as well as a larger army if Kevin stayed age 2, and as well as Kevin having that trading route. The fact that Kevin went age 3 and had to sit in his own base just allowed GiveUAnxiety out in the map, contest the TP line, get all those extra hunts. Kevin could have really been BM and put down a wall near his aggro and played like a defensive turtle stronghold game. Come knock down my castle. I'm controlling all your resources. And I think Kevin missed a trick there in terms of the map layout and how this matchup plays.
Yeah. Definitely deciding point there, like you were saying. Early age 3, KEVINITALIEN he fought without his upgraded Sepoy. But yeah, excellent game regardless. Well played from both players. That concludes basically game number 1. Thank you so much for the subscription. I didn't catch who that was. Thank you so much though. Appreciate it a lot. All right, so that is game number 1, basically. Game number 1, actual game number 1 was recorded. The game crashed when I loaded in, and so we are going to be watching that as game number 5, in quotation marks, if you will. So this is basically game number 2. It's Tuparo. We'll see how it goes. I guess KEVINITALIEN has picked Iroquois. Yeah.
I'm thinking GiveUAnxiety's Civ pool is either going to be the French or Aero here. I really don't see any other Civ GiveUAnxiety can A, feel comfortable playing, and B, works with the map. I guess you could try your best and go Russia here. Russia does pretty well by going Mass, Strelet, Cossack, or maybe a few Cossacks to try and dissuade Mass Kanya Horsemen. But if you get to that point in the game, you can just train pure Strelets into Aena, Tomahawks. You're in a good position. How the next map will play out really does depend on what TP spawn happens, whether you see on the top right the 2x2 routes as we see, or the other spawn, which is a singular 4 TP route going through the middle of the map, bisecting both the 2 town centres. But GiveUAnxiety's Civ pool is quite shallow, and I'm sure Kevin's been doing his homework and practicing builds versus GiveUAnxiety's common Civs, which is Brit, German, Aero, French, and India, and that's it. GiveUAnxiety doesn't play any other Civ apart from that. And Kevin going for Aero, I think Kevin's happy for the Iroquois mirror here.
Yeah, Kevin definitely paying attention to GiveUAnxiety's Civs that he's comfortable with. I don't expect GiveUAnxiety to do it, but Aztecs is actually a pretty decent matchup into Iroquois, I feel like. I've seen it in some of these 1v1 tournament matches recently, and recently it's done really well. Iroquois just, their army is not strong enough in Age 2 versus Aztec. Aztec army just outshines, and their economy for that matter.
Yeah, it's also quite a simple build order, and like the flavor of the month would be to age up with the Shaman Politician, get your 2 war huts mid-map, maybe versus Aero in your own third. But the thing is, Aztec versus Aero, we've seen a few matchups so far in the EPL with that instance, and the one I will be quoting is when Diaruga was playing on Manchuria versus Iroquois, and you just see the fact that you had 2 war huts pumping out units after sending 3 Vil, 700 wood, and then into shipments like 10 mace, 6 puma, 9 mace. You just overwhelm the mass that Aero gets out in the early colonial age off of a single war hut. And when you have about 10 pumas, 6+5, 11 pumas out in the field, guarded by mace and more mace Holtons, you can just siege down that long war hut. The war hut only having 2,000 HP is quite a soft spot. GiveUAnxiety though, going for the Ottomans.
Nice.
I've never seen GiveUAnxiety play Ottoman before. There's always that kind of the recurring joke that the Ottomans are a very easy civ to play, low actions per minute, and certainly their economic side is very easy to manage, but it's a lot of micro when you're playing around with Jans, Abus, trying to protect each other units' weak points. And when you're playing with units like Abus Gun, Falconets, those units are very vulnerable to Kevin's Kanya Horseman. Kanya's having a multiplier versus those units, and I don't know what GiveUAnxiety's plan is. I think it's going to be the bottle FF, send 700 coin tower and play from there. But players are undecided who this matchup favors, and I think this favors the Eero if Eero can get to the third age uncontested.
Yeah, it's very exciting. We're going to be seeing GiveUAnxiety's Ottomans, his 9,000 APM Ottomans. Want to say thank you so much for the subscription earlier, Zinger. Appreciate it a lot. This map is Tuparo. We'll call this game number 2 between KEVINITALIEN, GiveUAnxiety, EPL Season 2, Week 4. Yeah, this should be really exciting. KEVINITALIEN's Iroquois versus GiveUAnxiety's Ottomans. Yeah.
Yeah, even Kevin in the lobby saying, GiveUAnxiety is playing Otto? I mean, like, smiley face, and guys, let us sit here for a treat and enjoy what GiveUAnxiety has been working on, because his recent ladder game suggested he's only played the British and the French, so maybe he's got some sort of other alt account where he's been rigorously practicing for this match versus Kevin. Okay, we're spawning into Paro, and GiveUAnxiety playing as the Ottoman civilization. Spawn into the northwest of the map. Kevin will be playing the Eero, spawn into the southeast. We do see is a food crate start for both players. It looks like no wood on no extra coin crates, and the Ottomans only having 300 wood in bank. Kind of throw down an in-base house and try and push out for a training post. And if we go into the fog of war, you can see how the explorer from Otto was kind of going this circular path to try and see if it was a middle TP line. Eventually saw the train route go the two ways, 2x2, and had to pull back to this train post in the corner. And that actually might cost GiveUAnxiety an early shipment pass. It's going to be close. This travel is nearly coming across, but I think GiveUAnxiety will just about get it. So that'll come in for his first shipment. Yeah, it'll come in.
Does it? It doesn't.
Yeah.
Did it?
He's just got it. It wasn't enough for his first XP shipment, but even still getting shipments number 1 by 1 minute and 22 seconds. Very nice. Let's look at GiveUAnxiety's deck. GiveUAnxiety having 3 vills. Age 2, 600 food, 700 food. I'm not going to call it. We'll have to see where it aged up with. But those 2 cards, 700 food, 700 coin, 600 food, 5 Jan, could be a double barracks Jan rush from GiveUAnxiety. And that is he's even got an age 3. Look at this, 6 Janissaries, 8 Janissaries. I've never seen a person have 6 Janissaries in their deck before.
I don't think I have either. I think perhaps this could be a deck that is just intended to throw Kevin off. I have seen that a few times from Ottoman players, having crazy cards, making the opponent see the deck and go, what in the world is going on, and prepare for something, and then it being absolute opposite. So, yeah, very interesting there. We see 3 villagers coming out from GiveUAnxiety. He is aging up. Looking at the Iroquois deck, he has pretty good shipments age 2. Pretty much what you'd expect. Several military shipments age 3. Nothing really... I don't see anything that really stands out in KEVINITALIEN's deck.
Let's have a quick look. He does have the 7 Aena, 6 Tomahawks. Doesn't have 6 Aena. He has European ways. So you can go for counter-infantry rifle in the 3rd age, and that's very strong versus civs like Otto. And these vills are going very far from GiveUAnxiety. This is a misclick. Oh my god. If Kevin gets some villagers, he can one-shot this vill, actually, if he managed to get 10 in the town centre. But that has just given Kevin away. This is going to be a 2 Rex Jan rush. He's aging with the Quartermaster. 2 villagers forward. Rush Settler coming in. This has gone wrong for GiveUAnxiety, because the reason why the double Janissary, double barracks Jan rush works so well is usually catching your opponent off by surprise. However, Kevin, or maybe he's throwing us a blind one. Maybe GiveUAnxiety saying, "Hey, look, I'm rushing you, but I'm not actually rushing you. I'm heading back." But we're chopping so much wood behind this. You don't know. It could be a TP play behind us, actually. Like
it could be. It also could have been the map. Perhaps if GOA wasn't super familiar with it, starting with a basically rectangular map, if you will. Perhaps he was expecting the opponent's TC to be farther away. Not sure. We see a barracks coming out first, though, for GiveUAnxiety. Still a KEVINITALIEN pretty much all on food. We'll see what he does to respond to this.
Well, Kevin's aging up now, and he does have a Jaguar nearby. He has the Aero War Chief walking forward. Kevin's trying his best to scout, and GiveUAnxiety dropping a single barracks in the middle map.
Double barracks.
Here we go, boys and girls. Double racks, Jan rush coming out from GiveUAnxiety. However, the barracks is in the middle of the map. Kevin, at the moment, he's just missing it. Like he's so close. He's so close with his Aero War Chief and Jaguar, and the sooner Kevin can see this, the sooner he can react. 3 Hussars, first shipment from GiveUAnxiety. I wouldn't say this is all in, but okay, Kevin's just seen the 3 Hussars. He knows he has to go defensive, and he's got a War Hut, which is actually, you know what? It's really exposed.
It is really exposed. It's also, I'm not sure the TC can fire on units sieging it. Also, the hunts for both players were pretty, not ideal, but it was even because they were both not ideal. The villagers barely make it back into the war hut there. Go ahead and you can cast this part.
Well, the problem was he went 5 vil instead of unit shipment. We have 3 Hussars, 4 Jans in the base. All the villagers idle at the moment. 3 Tomahawks being trained straight away, getting picked up. 2 Hussars on really low HP. Okay, all 3 on low HP will get picked off by the Jans. But okay, 4 Jans are still alive in between the town centre and war huts. Probably not the best place to stand if you're GiveUAnxiety at the moment, but we do see more Janissaries. A reinforcing batch of 4 Janissaries. Oh no, GiveUAnxiety. The build isn't 3 Hussars first. You need the crates to fund the Jans, and pushing in with 4 Janissaries versus a Colonel. You're going to get cleaned up. AN has been trained. I'm waiting to see if the the Aero scouting party's already been trained. A batch of ANers, 7 A has been trained, all Hussars picked off. No way for GiveUAnxiety to go into Hussar production at the moment. Those 3 Hussars have already been gone down, and this is a safe, easy cleanup for Kevin in base, and the Aero Eco is just much better than Ottoman at this point.
Yeah, currently 21 population to 16. GiveUAnxiety, like you're saying, it's not really all in, but it's very, it's a very hard rush for sure, and very... maybe not super calculated, certainly very, very focused on getting units out as early as humanly possible without necessarily focusing on keeping full batches out of the barracks.
It's just a build order problem because he's now sending 5 Jans, but he has 7 villagers gathering coin, where ideally you go 700 food, 700 coin. You have enough coin to kind of get out a small batch of 6, 8 Jans, but then the 700 coin funds the remaining Janissaries, and you're all on food. The 600 food comes in just to help out. You have to go 600 food, or maybe 3 Hussars then to push in the power spike. And you know, I've never done a double racks Jan rush myself, but okay, he did get a 7-match Janissaries, pushing up the 5 Jans from the town centre. This is GiveUAnxiety's timing, but well, all resources shipped forward. Most of them are going to be gathered up at this point, and a few villages going down. Let us see if Kevin can kite with these Aenas, or what is his plan? Is he going to send another unit shipment behind this?
Yeah, too many of the Janissaries just split off, I think. I think that's kind of GiveUAnxiety's gameplay style. But one thing that we haven't noticed or mentioned yet is the Explorer from Ottomans is stuck in opponent's base. He's not going to be able to build trade posts with it stuck there. With this fight going on, though, I think KEVINITALIEN will make it. We have 3 more Janissaries being reinforced. Defender's advantage to Kevin for sure, though.
Yeah, he has 10 vills in the town centre doing 90 range damage. He does have 4 in the war hut to try and get the crates up. Another reinforcing batch of 3 Janissaries from GiveUAnxiety. His eco's running thin. Okay, 600 coin, 600 food now comes in for GiveUAnxiety. Another 2 batch as well, but another 5 ANers. 3 Tomahawks still alive from that previous batch. Town centre, war hut. I think Kevin's feeling very stable at this point and start gathering up those food. Would really wants to try and revive his Aero War Chief as well, just to get that 10% HP boost to his units. And I think Kevin really needs to drop down a second war hut, or maybe stable and send 600 wood to go into Canyons, because GiveUAnxiety can either try and... well, he can't even get an artillery foundry down because he's not going to squeeze in the wood shipments. It's just Janissaries at this point. 7 Janissaries out in the field. Only 2 Jans in queue. Nice raid, actually. GiveUAnxiety... so GiveUAnxiety is trying to play a raiding style with an all-in rush. Kevin still has more. Well, he just has strong. Well, I don't know. It's like, but both players are in bad shapes at the moment. If you look at the units lost, Kevin's lost a lot of villagers to this. He's just lost 6 vills, and okay, GiveUAnxiety's lost 35 Janissaries, but he hasn't lost any vills.
Yeah, 20 economy versus 21, but that's Ottoman economy. You have to take in mind, like, you lose villagers as Iroquois, and it hurts a lot more than most civilizations. Same with Ottomans. If he lost villagers, it would hurt a lot more than most civilizations too. But yeah, another vill going down there. I think I like the choice on staying on war huts. You see your opponent only going Janissaries at the moment. You definitely want to have enough Aina out. We haven't touched quite on Aina and how strong they actually are, though. With the War Chief, 121 HP, 12 attack. They fire at a rate of 1.5, though. Pretty good unit, especially for only 100 food. Going up versus the Janissaries, what is that, 100 food, 25 coin?
90 food, 25 coin. You need to remember the Ainas have a multiplier versus Jans as well, really strong. Okay, 4 canyons being sent as a shipment, and all these canyons are scouting, just more Janissaries from GiveUAnxiety. So I think Kevin at least knows where the remaining units are, and there you go, second war hut coming down. Not close to his original war hut, and this war hut as well, quite high HP. Okay, pick up here from Kevin. Fuvio's actually moved in to try and tank possibly. He could win this fight if he has the crack shot available, but he's deciding to run away.
Yeah.
I was not expecting this game between a lieutenant colonel and a colonel.
Not at all. It's a very scrappy game. We see GiveUAnxiety. He actually meleeed KEVINITALIEN's Aina there, and he was forced to pull back. So good micro from him. We see the Kanya Horsemen on the other side trying to do some raids. It looks like they may get some villagers.
No,
no, they don't.
Keep your Kanyas alive.
Yeah, for sure. And another villager going down, though, for KEVINITALIEN. Is it going to turn him fire? He does not. Okay.
No. Kevin's lost 9 vills at this point. Otto's ahead in the eco pop as well, and like that 4 Kanya
with no boss.
Very strong. It's strong for snaring your opponent and letting your ANs and units fire behind, but actually he's lost so much HP. We're losing 1 Kanya behind us as well, and Kevin's mass behind this isn't looking great, and he still has the Tomahawk shipment to go, as well as cards like Infantry Attack and Conservative Tactics, but you know what? I actually think that GiveUAnxiety is in the lead at this point. I agree. I don't believe I'm saying this, but GiveUAnxiety is in the lead at this point.
Yeah, we see a corral coming out from KEVINITALIEN. The second war hut to defend his hunts. That's a good choice, but we'll see how this is followed up. We see 700 coin that came out for GiveUAnxiety. He might be trying to age. I think he's just gonna keep on going Janissaries. The Kanya Horsemen look like they're gonna be cleaned up. With the 700 wood, I'm guessing he's gonna build some mosque and get some ups. Maybe a stable. A stable would make a lot of sense here.
Oh, another vill going down. He did lose another vill in that process, but GiveUAnxiety now need to be a bit careful. You do have quite a few units at home defending raids, but you're also pushing out a lot of Janissaries yourself, and the Iro army is nearby, and it's moving in to cut you off. 5-speed ANs will very quickly pick these guys off, so 5 Janissaries will be going down, even the 6th and the 7th actually, if you're not too careful. So GiveUAnxiety playing the Ottomans like he plays his British civilization, which has its benefits and negatives, and that there was a negative. Kevin, 23 to 10 military population, and still yet to send shipments like Conservative Tactics, probably training ANs, Tomahawks, and Kanyas because of that 600 wood shipments.
We have an artillery foundry coming out. An artillery foundry.
Look at this Kanya timing, though, with the 600 wood being gathered up. We should see a nice batch of about 4 Kanyas, I reckon. Struggling for food here, but if you can get a nice batch of Kanyas out, Abus guns could get... There's not many Jans here to play the Abus guns as well.
Yeah, we see Ottomans on 24 villagers, no mosque. Definitely a early push or early strategy from GiveUAnxiety. He's not planning on going late game with this, or I don't expect him to plan on that. We look at units in queue, and we see some Abus, 5 Abus being trained. We see some Tomahawks being trained from KEVINITALIEN. A fighting coming up here. Oh my goodness. This is crazy.
I'm not feeling the siege in the barracks, so if you've got a military advantage, push out. Okay, Abus guns have shown themselves. And with Canyons on the field, they might wrap around, but this is just going to prompt Kevin to stop sieging. He's going to move in and try and pick off a few of his Abus guns. And every time this Abus goes down, a piece of me inside slowly dies away. All his Abus guns getting picked off very quickly. And then now it's just Aenas again versus Janissaries. And a much larger mass for that as well.
Yeah, we look at the military unit population, 23 versus 32. Aena's definitely strong here. Economy lead now over to KEVINITALIEN due to GiveUAnxiety not building a mosque the whole time, not having any more than the starting trade post. We'll see what GiveUAnxiety does here. We look at the macro. He just sent 600 coin. He's has one Abus in queue, expecting him to get another batch out. What do you think of this? Gens and Abus versus Aina and Tomahawks?
It's a strong combo, but look at this Jan pushing behind. If Kevin doesn't pull back out of range, he's going to get really picked up here. But okay, now he's got his Tomahawks slightly ahead to tank, while the Aina's behind. A batch of 5 Jans quickly being dispatched in the barracks. Barracks going down. Now it's just Abus guns. Kevin surely must know it's just Abus guns now coming from GiveUAnxiety. And we do see 3 Canyas out in the field, but Kevin's going for the raid of the Canyas. I don't think this is an eco game. This is a military game. Abus gun straight on top of the Aenas. You cannot use the Aena mass to this. This is GiveUAnxiety making the most out of his situation. Canyas away from the battle here.
Yeah, they are. I would have liked to see the Janissaries popped on the Aenas in the barracks fight. But yeah, the Abus doing work. Abus are extremely strong versus heavy infantry. The Kanyas come up on them though. The Janissaries, a couple of them pulled back, gonna do well versus the Kanyas. But this fight's close. I think I give it over to KEVINITALIEN. It's really, really close though. We see 3 more Kanyas coming in. It looks like KEVINITALIEN should be able to clean this up. Minutemen called from GiveUAnxiety. Okay, I think it's a little bit too late though.
Yeah, you could see at the end just those 3 Canyas forced GiveUAnxiety to stop attacking the infantry and try and defend from the the GG. Well played coming out from jailed. What a top player. What a good sportsmanship that is. Interesting game, to be brutally honest, and wacky strategies. And I have to give credit where credit is due. Playing a civilization you've never really played before, going for a strategy to catch your opponent off guard, and GiveUAnxiety certainly caught Kevin off guard. He caught me off guard. He caught all of you guys out off guard. And Kevin lost about 10, 12 villagers. Didn't take some amazing trades through that. And GiveUAnxiety, through thick and thin, was actually in an alright position coming towards the end. But KEVINITALIEN, I think after sending that 600 wood shipments, getting a batch of Canyas, Tomahawks out, and then sending 6 Tomahawks to reinforce, just had enough siege to knock down his 2 barracks. And once those 2 barracks were taken down, that Jan production stopped. The Abus guns was all that GiveUAnxiety had, but that was easy to predict because you only have 1 building and 1 unit you can train. Kevin trained some more Kanya horsemen and then closed out the game at the end. So at the end of our hypothetical game number 2, Kevin is drawing the series 1-1.
Yeah, it's that was exciting to watch. Something you may not see again from GiveUAnxiety. I'm not sure. I like the choice to do something like he didn't have any civs that he thought would win into KEVINITALIEN's Iroquois on this map. So I like the choice to try something new. At least change it up. If you feel like you're already at a disadvantage in the civ matchup, changing it up is your best bet. So I like the choice there. Perhaps he's gonna try to improve his Ottomans for the future. Definitely some room for improvement there. But there was a window where GiveUAnxiety was in the lead for sure. And I think that he could have pulled it away with just a little bit better, we'll say, macro and unit composition, we'll say.
Yeah, that 3 Hussar first shipment was a bit awkward, actually. Hussars are very good to kind of come in later to snare your opponent when you are pushing in with like 30 or 40 Jans, and that's when they are really the strongest. They play the same role as the 3 Jans that the Indian civ can send from their consulate when they're pushing in with sepoys. But I think the story here was Kevin just assumed GiveUAnxiety was going to tower FF in base. Like he did not have it scouted out. The villagers, surely it was a clue. He sent 5 vills first and always felt that he was on the back foot as a result of those 5 vills being sent, and just didn't really have the population to defend that first push. And when he started to get some more military out, then he lost the villagers, and it was just back and forth throughout. And a messy game. I knew I was looking forward to this series for the entire day, and I have not been disappointed so far.
Oh, me neither, man. This is amazing. We see no Mosque give you anxiety game, but just really early push. Not something that give you anxiety is known for, but definitely exciting to watch. It was actually really close at times too. So excellent gameplay from them. Just it's such a joy to watch.
Oh wow, yeah. Let's go on to the next one. I want to see what's coming up next.
It's one Mala, Civ reset, and Give You Anxiety picks Brits. Okay. All right. So Give You Anxiety picks Brits. Well, he hasn't technically locked it in yet, but I'm assuming he is going to. Um,
Yes.
yeah. All right. So one Mala. This is a map that I feel players are still getting used to. There is a lot of potential with the cows and the islands, with the water, just this strange map shape, if you will. And yeah, what we see on this map a lot is a lot of Aztec power rushing, double war hut rushing. We see stuff like ports going water, just different things like that. But we'll see what they actually do. We see Give You Anxiety doing his Brits. So KEVINITALIEN, he's going to probably either respond with, I would guess, either a water sieve or maybe a super high pressure sieve. There we go. So Botto. Botto FF probably.
Oh dear, and Kevin's going to show Giving Anxiety how to play the Ottomans. I was just flicking through the chat, just watching the chat come in at the end of that last game, and I think a few comments were like, oh yeah, nice troll, but it's a legit strat and caught everyone else off guard.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. Some of the best strategies are well executed strategies that catch your opponent off guard. And it definitely caught his opponent off guard. I think it could have been executed a little bit better. Giving You Anxiety playing something he's not super comfortable with, I would guess. But yeah, he almost made it work. Almost pulled it off. Very interesting game there. So we have Ottomans versus Brits here. What do you think of this matchup?
Well, I honestly haven't seen too many games this matchup. We don't see too many Brit picks in the EPL in general, and sometimes when the Ottoman comes out, you kind of wants to fight fire with fire and go Ottoman yourself, or go Aztecs. Aero is a good shout. French is not too bad to defend CDBs. German have war wagons in the Third Age. Safely gets to the Third Age and fight them there. So we don't see too many British picks. I'm feeling from KEVINITALIEN that a standard Otto Fast Fortress is probably not the way to go in base Tower FF. I'm thinking Quartermaster age up and drop in a Barracks and Artillery Foundry, one of each, middle of the map, play the contained game, get a Jan Abus Mass out, go for the 3 TP stagecoach control, and force Giving Anxiety in his base and trying to push out for extra hunts, and Giving Anxiety. Well, I don't think sending like musketeer shipments and trying to break Jan Abus early on is probably the strongest point. We'll have to try and mix in Huss. Could be going for a longbow defense. Does have some trees in his base, and probably dock play here would be quite nice from Giving Anxiety, but Giving Anxiety is not one of the most favoured players. Okay, I've seen many of his games. I don't think Giving Anxiety is a fan of going for an early dock. He usually, you saw in that Lumarco game, he went for that dock after he realised, he was running out of hunts in the land. So we'll have to see. But certainly, though, the Ottoman is the aggressor, and the British player will need to react adequately.
Yeah, I agree. If Lumarco the second game or first game basically, hypothetically, if that's any indication of what will happen this game, I expect KEVINITALIEN to do a lot of early aggression. Definitely, I would say Ottomans perhaps a little bit better at early aggression than India. Both are strong. They're actually somewhat comparable civs. We'll see what happens here though. Just making sure that the map generation is fair. I think it is.
Yeah, it's very mirrored starts. This map and Lumarco in particular, very mirrored starts. So You can let the players know that the map is balanced or even mirrored, but both players should know that if they do their homework correctly and checking out many times of how this map spawns, we can see both players move in their canoe, and the correct decision from both players here is moving their canoe down the sides and see if they can pick off any of these meaty treasures. KEVINITALIEN is going to pick up a nice 70 wood treasure really easily. So drop a TP, move back, pick up another 70 wood for free, or maybe get a vill out. He's going for in-base mosque and house off that wood crate start, but 70 wood, helpful for a second trading post in transition. What has GiveUAnxiety found on the coast? He's found 2 riflemen guarding 90 XP. Cannot take that with the canoe readily available. Pirate and a outlaw rifleman. So unlucky for GiveUAnxiety in his treasure spawn here.
Yeah, I agree with that. He does have, I don't know, with a snipe shot or the sharpshooter attack from the explorer and the canoe, I think you should be able to pick them up fairly easily. But yeah, 90 XP would be kind of nice. The 5 extra population, not very important, especially for Brits. We see neither player going for the island. So that's something we have seen early from some players, but not this game. Nice 70 food treasure. Yeah, that's nice. Resources always are very, very nice. Yeah, 70 wood. Yep, very nice.
It's just nice. Like that canoe has added so much value to Kevin's early game eco already just by picking up essentially free 70 food, 70 wood. Okay, villager did have to walk out, but we'll be heard in this hunt very, very soon.
Yeah,
we do see GiveUAnxiety replying.
And he herds the hunt away. He herded the hunt away accidentally. That's a shame. Yeah, 50 wood picked up by GiveUAnxiety. Yeah, we see KEVINITALIEN picked up 80 coins, 70 wood, 70 food. GiveUAnxiety only picked up 50 wood so far. We see a TP out from both players. 140 coin on the left by the... Oh, and 130 wood. Both explorers here. Both very similar HP. And...
I thought what Kevin was doing brave, but what GiveUAnxiety has done is
even
reckless.
Right. Yeah.
Is he really going to go for this 140 coin with the Ottoman explorers nearby?
I'm pretty sure he saw it.
I swear he saw it.
It felt like he did.
Maybe GiveUAnxiety think he's going to go for the 130 wood, but Kevin's unfortunately used that crack shot on the outlaw, and he will need to actually push in. So here comes the treasure contention, and GiveUAnxiety has to deal with the Cougar first, and that Cougar's out of place. A shot could he pick it up? He does pick it up, and 140 coin goes to Kevin. That's a 240 coin swing.
280. That's a huge
280.
swing. Yeah, that's a huge swing. That is really nicely done by KEVINITALIEN. I think GiveUAnxiety perhaps was not paying attention to the other 130 wood treasure and to the treasure guardians moving around. Apparently, they didn't see each other. Certainly, GiveUAnxiety didn't see KEVINITALIEN. KEVINITALIEN saw the treasure guardians moving though. Oh, and now KEVINITALIEN is fighting the 130 wood treasure. GiveUAnxiety comes over. This could be a big swing. Really nice pickup for whoever gets it. Oh, and he does. GiveUAnxiety picks it up. 260 wood swing to him. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, no, fair play for GiveUAnxiety to pick himself back up and push back in. I actually thought that was a slight misplay from Kevin because you're gonna. He's aged up with the quartermaster, but he's not going mid-map control. He's going double dock at home. What is this play?
Well, I don't know. I like the mind games because what I think what he's doing is saying, all right, game 2, you played Brits, I played India. I put early aggression against you, even though India is perhaps at higher levels a little bit better in age 3. Ottoman, you might be expecting a lot of early aggression from me, but in fact, I'm going to boom super hard. You're not going to perhaps get as many manners out. You're going to go for barracks, go for outpost, go for market. Yeah, I think actually GiveUAnxiety is playing into KEVINITALIEN's hands right now.
So Kevin, look at some GiveUAnxiety. This is he scouts the barracks and he's thinking, okay, barracks is at home. Maybe coin. I don't think he saw the town centre because the town centre wasn't firing. So I'm not too sure if GiveUAnxiety is aware of what the crate age up was or what the first shipment was, but I don't believe he scouted the docks. So GiveUAnxiety maybe a bit caught out of where what the actual plan is from Kevin. He can see from Kevin's deck slightly water orientated, but enough options on land to suggest this is kind of like a semi water contest, not full water here. And with Janissaries moving across the map to try and put some pressure on GiveUAnxiety, GiveUAnxiety is not going to be aware of this water play, and GiveUAnxiety sends in wood crates, hunt in base, hunting dogs being researched now. Okay, slightly late hunting dogs actually, but no intention of going water just yet.
Yeah, no intention yet. We do see 700 wood as the first card in Age 2 sent by GiveUAnxiety. He's getting a bunch of manners up. He does have that barracks up just to defend against early aggression, if that was what KEVINITALIEN is doing. We do see the Janissaries and the Musketeers fighting right now. Definitely favored to KEVINITALIEN there just a little bit more. One more Janissary. Janissaries are a little bit stronger than Musketeers. Well, quite a bit stronger, actually. But yeah, definitely unexpected gameplay from KEVINITALIEN. I like it. I like players changing it up, doing the unexpected, doing something that your opponent doesn't expect and doesn't prepare for because of that. I like it. I like it a lot.
So looking at GiveUAnxiety's base building as well, 700 wood, 700 coin, defensive outpost. GiveUAnxiety thinks that Kevin's plan is probably to take the middle TP line, go for map control, maybe stay somewhat Age 2, and then GiveUAnxiety can break out. But little does he know that he sent a rendering plant behind this. Let's look at eco units as well. 15 boats. There's nearly more boats on the sea than there are Ottoman villagers. Soon, Kevin should be getting the gill nets upgrade as well, and hopefully that will be researched very, very soon, just to kind of, that's such a big boost to a sizable part of your eco behind this. But GiveUAnxiety, 700 coins, 600 wood, trying to age up, but just doesn't have enough food to age up at the moment. He's trained 3 batches of 5 musketeers, I believe, so far, because he's lost that early engagement. And no, it's just the 2 batches. He hasn't lost a single musketeer just yet. It was just the explorer being picked off. But Kevin, he has more Jans out in the field than there are musketeers. GiveUAnxiety, he could try to age up, but I feel that he's going to be pressured to send stuff like Minutemen and go for another batch of units in queue. I'm not too sure if GiveUAnxiety is getting the read on what Kevin's doing.
Yeah, I don't think he is. We see, okay, Minutemen popped here. That's a good choice. And the Janissaries pulling back. We see that GiveUAnxiety is on like half a hunt left inside his base. He doesn't have map control right now, that's for sure. KEVINITALIEN just playing this really well. You see the Moz coming out early too. I don't know that that's what I would have done. Fishing boats are really cheap. I don't know. It's what he decided to do. We see that he's already sent the Age 2. Let's see, what's it called? The rendering plant. Yeah. I think you might have mentioned that earlier. But yeah, KEVINITALIEN just controlling the map and booming harder than British. This is a joy to watch.
Okay, Kevin should fight his Minutemen now. It exactly does. He's pulled the Minutemen away from the safety of the town centre and try and split this down. But once the Minutemen go down, 4 Jans beat 3 Musketeers. GiveUAnxiety is now aging up. The British do not have a fast age politician. Kevin is already up to the next age, and he has water control. He has the gill nets, rendering plants. He has more fishing boats than he does have villagers. It feels like 16 boats now. GiveUAnxiety only has 29 villagers and nearly ran out of hunts. Doesn't even have placer mines researched just yet. We'll have to go into berries. We'll try and push out for one more hunt. But no, he's actually... Okay, luckily for him, he's just scouted his hunt. I was worried that he was completely missing something there, but no, he has managed to push out. So GiveUAnxiety will feel a little bit more reassured that he has more food to go on to.
We see veteran Janissaries coming in. We see that the gill nets was researched for Ottomans. He has 36 economy versus 32 in the recalculated economic unit population. You were mentioning that the Ottomans does not have many upgrades, market upgrades on his villagers, but British doesn't either. He has hunting dogs and gating saw. That's it. We see the Age 2 upgrade from the market for Ottomans, but yeah, I like KEVINITALIEN's position here a lot. The 2 Falconets coming out, that is 7, 8, wait, let's see how many Janissaries. 14 Janissaries on the field. We'll see what British can do to try to defend this. I don't know that he can do a whole lot.
I suppose it's play from Kevin. It forces GiveUAnxiety to deal what is in front of him and not deal with the eco which is booming out of control for Kevin behind this. And at first I was thinking, hang on, pushing out with 7 Janissaries, 2 Falconets, but now there's a few more reinforcing batches. It's quite difficult to pick this up.
Yeah, it is.
GiveUAnxiety will have to Falconet trade here.
Yeah, for sure.
And longer goes on, that eco for Kevin is carrying on.
Yeah. Thanks, Spank you, for the sub to Frosty. Appreciate that. Yeah, so we see double barracks out from GiveUAnxiety. He is a very big fan of the double barracks. The cannons, Falconets come out, and they fired on the Janissaries. Oh, we'll see what happens. The longbow, though, are actually pretty decent. Okay, they do take down the other Falconet. So definitely advantage here when it comes to military for GiveUAnxiety, but I'd say everything else is advantage over to KEVINITALIEN for the moment.
That was awkward shooting the infantry, but enough longbows, musketeers to pick that one off, as well as the villagers going out to punch that falconet. Very, very nice, but did lose a couple vills in the process there. Not too many though, just 2. But Kevin, he's pushed in, he's caused idle time, he's forced the musketeer shimmy. He's now forced 2 falcons, 9 musketeers. He's backing out. Train post each though. I would have liked Kevin to send maybe 2 Jans to continuously siege this train post down, because GiveUAnxiety has no real way to try and defend that at this moment. But scores even, and this is the thing for GiveUAnxiety. The scores are even. This should be a clue that the Ottoman's not doing a standard Ottoman FF. And you know what, Kevin, if he wanted to, that is, could go to 4th age. But I think he wants to try and save for a Spahi or a Mamluk shipment. Maybe sends Jan combat first. But with this eco behind this, you can send some strong shipments out as the Ottoman player.
Yeah, he builds a second barracks. I looked earlier to see if there was the what was it, 8 Hussar in H4. I was wondering if he might do a revolt off the back end of this. Revolt with C with having fishing boats out can actually be pretty strong. But no, he's staying H3, sends 1,000 wood, gets a second barracks out. He has an artillery foundry in the back also. Yeah, this is exciting. We do see the TP going down from KEVINITALIEN. GiveUAnxiety, nice pick up there, but the Janissaries are going towards the shore. I think he just wants to see if GiveUAnxiety has any docks out, but he pulls them back. Okay.
This is the GiveUAnxiety 5 Musketeer raid, which you've all come to know and love, and 5 Spahis out in the field. 5 Spahis, not the greatest versus Musketeers, but when you have this many Jans behind this, these guys still can tank quite a bit, especially with 20% range resist, 750 HP. Not as tanky as Mamelukes, but then again, there's only a few Musketeers here. This Spahis can actually just slam in and at least tear apart the longbows. 1 Falconet by themselves is not actually that scary. They only just about pick up maybe 1 Janissary per volley due to their splash damage. But here we go, engagement coming in.
Yeah.
Kevin just engages, focus on the Falconets, and the Spahis are coming behind this. The Janissaries have borne the brunt of that push from GiveUAnxiety. Now the Spahis are coming in at full HP and reinforcing Aegis guns behind this. This is a cleanup from Kevin.
Yeah, huge cleanup. I like that. Spahi are an excellent complement to the Janissaries, as are the Abyss themselves. So really, really good there. We see only 1 Spahi went down the whole fight. We'll see if he tries to regenerate their HP. If they stay still, their HP will regenerate. Yeah, nice fight. KEVINITALIEN, I think he's squarely in the lead at this point. I don't think there's a whole lot of options left for GiveUAnxiety. He would need to go C, I think, at some point, or I think that'd be the only option, only way that he could actually come back into this game. I don't think he knows, for whatever reason, I don't think he knows that KEVINITALIEN has full-on boomed on C, though.
One of the things maybe Kevin's playing his strength here is it is a known thing that GiveUAnxiety is. I'm not too sure GiveUAnxiety is the best scouter in game, and there's so much knowledge you can pick up at scouting your opponent, but not just where, but when as well, and knowing what to scout. Maito put out a very good thread about maybe a couple months back on how to scout each opponent. Look at this, even Spahi's going for a raid will come across a few Hussars, managing to get out there, hoping to run away completely, not engage this away from the Jan army, and Abus is reinforcing as well. But GiveUAnxiety never knew about the docks and just played his own game. GiveUAnxiety does what GiveUAnxiety does best, and just plays his own brick game, but Kevin has used that to his advantage and gone for a very greedy build. Schooners and rendering plant in the first 4 cards. Now solid eco lead. And look at all these villagers from GiveUAnxiety away from the town centre. There is a canoe which could garrison units, but will get picked off by the Avis guns with a bit of micro from Kevin if that is needed. Looks like he actually wants to do that now, is go for the canoe snipe, and the canoe's gone.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say earlier. It looks like KEVINITALIEN is just going up and trapping the army. We'll see if this is a trap for KEVINITALIEN, though. I like KEVINITALIEN's army more, but GiveUAnxiety also, it's 30 to 60 population. We just need the Janissaries to not be focusing the house. We need them to be fighting. I think that KEVINITALIEN is going to clean this up. A bunch of villagers go down in that process, too. Yeah, GG. Well played. Yeah. That was good played. I think KEVINITALIEN just outsmarted, I think outsmarted is the right word there. Just completely outsmarted GiveUAnxiety on the whole build order, the game plan for the whole game.
Yes, absolutely right there. And even if that military fight at the end didn't go in the way of Kevin, if Kevin somehow managed to accidentally delete the 5 Spahis while trying to type while controlling his units and press enter and just went down, he managed to pick off quite a lot of those settlers there, and that final economic population 59 to 22, and when the Brit player doesn't have the map, doesn't have the eco advantage, there's no way to really mass. Jan combat did come in before that fight, 294 HP, 28 range attack, same attack as Musketeers, but an extra 194 HP than GiveUAnxiety's Musketeers, and the longbows, they just weren't enough stopping power to take down Kevin's army. And I was very impressed, not just the build, but how actually quick Kevin managed to get the fishing boats out, how he focused that wood upgrade from the market and the second tier log flume before even getting placer mines, hunting dogs. You don't need hunting dogs, placer mines if you got the full sea control. Managing to get long lines in as well, around about 15 to 20 fishing boats. So long lines, gill nets, rendering plants, these fishing boats, very, very strong. Good eco behind that, good game plan. Did push out a bit early with the 2 falconets, but that forced GiveUAnxiety to react and kept GiveUAnxiety on his toes.
Yeah, I agree with the play. Just excellent game plan for from KEVINITALIEN. GiveUAnxiety, while he's very good at Brits, is pretty telegraphed in how he plays. So KEVINITALIEN studied that really well, came up with a really good game plan to deal with it, and he uses it. He uses his Ottoman game plan after GiveUAnxiety uses Ottomans, and after game number 2, basically our game number 1, where GiveUAnxiety did British and KEVINITALIEN rushed super hard into it. So really good game plan from KEVINITALIEN, really switching it up. Completely hard to read from GiveUAnxiety. GiveUAnxiety is hard to read what KEVINITALIEN was doing there. Really, really good game plan there. I like that a lot.
Also, that fight in the Ottoman player's base just outside, once the Jans pushed in, focused on a single falconet, that wasn't actually the biggest damage dealer of the British army, but the Jans went in first, taking the damage like an absolute champ. Like all those Jans, veteran Janissaries, Avis guns reinforcing behind, but then the 5 Spahis came in to smash into that army once. The Janissaries have basically taken the sting out of the British player's army just to mop up, and that military population falls over from GiveUAnxiety. And at the end of that fight, about 20 pop going down for KEVINITALIEN, maybe 15, but GiveUAnxiety 60 down to about 20. So double the losses there for GiveUAnxiety, and you can see how he pulled back those 10 longbows, 10 musketeers. Those units sort of happened and just said, nope, I'm getting out of here. And unfortunately, this ran to their side of the map, and then it promptly got cleaned up. Right. Let's move on. Yeah,
let's. This is our game number 4, their game number 5. We're going to, if you're just joining us, we are going to get on to the recorded game, or I am at least. I don't know if Harrison will be available or not. But we're going to get on to the recorded game of game number 1 after this, their game number 5. So this is our game number 4, their game number 5, and we'll go back to the next game following this one. It is a Civ reset. We'll see what the players bring out. KEVINITALIEN picking first. Is that Germany first?
It is German indeed. Not too many hunts on this map, so Germany they don't need the hunts as much, so that's a good pick. TP line, 3 TPs, as well as native TPs of the Incan and the Lakota. Lakota with their 500 wood, 500 coin dog soldier, big button timing, very nice. The only downside for the German play here is that all the mines on this map are tin mines, 1500 coin a piece. There's about 2 in-base coin mines and 4 coin mines per side, each over the trade routes. I think it's 4, may just be 3, but it's not a lot of coin here actually. And in the German mirror, if the game goes mid-fortress, we could see, like, I don't know, crossbow pike. Maybe natives might come into their full force here, because you can upgrade the natives quite easily, and then you can have stronger native units than just massing pikemen, crossbowmen. If we do go to late fortress, whoever makes a plantation first will lose.
Yeah, yeah, the natives are actually pretty strong. The Incan Huaminka, however you pronounce it, are actually very strong pike units. So we could see something like in a German mirror, perhaps something along the lines of skirmishers and pikes versus skirmishers and war wagons. And if you go skirmishers and pikes, I think that you have the liberty to build a few more skirmishers than your opponent, who is going skirmishers and war wagons. So we'll see if that's comes up. I don't know. The dog soldiers, as you were mentioning, very good unit, much better than the Ulan for sure.
Having a quick look at the map, another map which spawns very symmetrical. We do see starting hunt. So the first hunt for both players is here, and that's mirrored, and then the other hunts are mid-map. The coin mines. Kevin's missing 1 coin mine.
No, Kevin has. Wait, he is? No, he has both coin mines. Or
No, he's missing 1 coin mine.
yes.
As in on his side of the map, there's no equivalent spawn for that coin mine.
I think that's just in the middle. But I think the hunts are favored for GiveUAnxiety anyways. Yeah. Okay. I think that's just kind of the middle mine that spawns right by the TP the whole time. But
Yes.
yeah.
He's like, ES3 please. He's like, are you gonna resign or? Yeah, no, it is middle enough. You can kind of a neutral coin mine, but with this map you do generally expect mirrored spawns, and we see that with the hunts as well. Very mirrored spawn. The hunts are absolutely fair.
I can't.
As fair as it can be.
I can't flare. Yeah. Okay.
They
They're
can't
really
flare
fair.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, just especially because for these guys it's their last game. Who knows? GiveUAnxiety could have pulled a blind out in game 1. This could be the deciding game between these two. So we want the best playing conditions as possible between these 2 players. And in the German mirror, coin mines are very, very important.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, or tin mines, if you will, are very, very important. Yeah, we'll see how this map generation goes. Even on the thumbnail, you see that the mine generation is not perfectly fair. That's funny. I've never noticed that before. We'll see what happens here.
This is a balanced map, but oh my god, all the coin mines are in the middle of the map.
Yeah.
This is going to be exciting. I'm looking forward to this one. Wow.
Yeah. Look at the hunts too. There's basically 1 hunt way on each side, and then all of the other ones are right in the middle of the map. So this should be really exciting. Whoever has map control should have a big advantage for sure.
I'm letting both players know that the map is balanced, but they're going to be a bit disappointed when they see extra hunts. And luckily for GiveUAnxiety, he's already used his British pick, so he won't be playing British on this map. Just imagine if you're playing the Brits with a hunt spawn like this, you would not be happy.
Yeah, I don't think, honestly, I wouldn't be happy with this with any civ I had, honestly. But yeah, especially Brits. I don't know. I think the one thing to point out is the tin mines for KEVINITALIEN are in the back of his TC, while the tin mines for GiveUAnxiety are in the front. I think it's gonna come down to whoever pressures more early on, though. That's gonna matter more than where exactly your first 2 mines are spawn. We see that the first trade post got barely gotten by GiveUAnxiety. KEVINITALIEN forced to go to the middle for his first trade post. That is going to be a delayed shipment for him for sure.
Yeah, it's really huge actually. You can see how Kevin stopped off for that 80 food treasure, but GiveUAnxiety's just got his first shipment. He can't send just 60 training wheels and hasn't got that house down. So as soon as he can send that, but you'll be sending the 2 settler wagons, and they'll be gathering their food up from the hunts faster than Kevin's shipment coming in behind this. I don't think Kevin will actually benefit from that early TP. I'm sure he'll get a normal experience growth to that first shipment by the time that XP Travois comes again for its actual pass. So Kevin going to send in his first shipment about 20-25 seconds later, and in that time, those 2 settler wagons would have probably gathered the same amount of food, that 80 food, and maybe a bit more actually. So that early game, GiveUAnxiety again, the early train post, really large in a mirror as well, and so that extra XP should give GiveUAnxiety the very slightest edge in shipment progression throughout.
Yeah, looking at the decks, it's pretty similar from both. We see that GiveUAnxiety has 5 DOPs. We also see that KEVINITALIEN has 8 Ulans instead of that. We see that in Age 2, KEVINITALIEN has the Team Cavalry attack card, and he doesn't have the 5 Ulans. On the other hand, GiveUAnxiety has 5 Ulans and no Team Cav attack. We also see the 10 Polish Winged Hussars in Age 4 that GiveUAnxiety has that KEVINITALIEN doesn't have. Yeah, what do you think of the Polish Winged Hussar card? The 10 Hussars that are automatically upgraded to Guard.
Well, I'm going to say Winged Hussars because I don't know if it's Polish or Polish.
Polish.
I'm sure,
Did I say
I'm sure
Polish?
It's Polish.
It's
well,
Polish.
I mean, there's not enough information here for me to say that, but it's a very very strong card. In a German mirror, I guess it's Worcester strong because you can certainly tank a lot of those Hussars. Were able to tank so much damage from the front line of the opposing army, while you have war wagons and skirm in the back taking down that front line of the opponents. But other cards in your final deck could be your 6 settler wagons on this map. Not a good shipment, I don't think. Lipnaza Cavalry, and Combats plus 25, very very strong. 4 war wagons, quite weak. So there's not really much other shipments apart from a 14 Ulan shipment. I think it's 14, or it might be even more than that. But yeah, Winged Hussars, exceptionally strong shipments in any circumstance, and it's
certainly in 1v1.
I'm glad to see it in Anxiety's deck. Kevin, not too sure about that Team Cav attack instead of that Age 4 shipment, because it's not often you send all of your Age 2 shipments. It
is worth noting that Team Cav attack affects the Ulans and the war wagons, so it's pretty. I feel like it's pretty decent. I like it. It depends a lot on how many units you have out. Yeah, did I actually say Polish Winged Hussars? I don't know if I did, but
I don't know. Like, is it Polish Winged? Like, these are the shiniest medaled. These guys have earned their rank, and they are now known as the Polish Winged medal holders, or the Polish.
Poland's cavalry in the medieval ages was well known. Their Winged Hussars are very, very strong. They're one of the very last cavalry units that were one of the last ones that were utilized. We saw knights being used, and then we saw the Winged Hussars still being used. We see both players aged up to Age 2, and we see both players coming out with the barracks. Good play. Mirrored play for now. They aged up at pretty much the exact same time.
Only difference is that Kevin has scouted with his Gentle Pete the Pet Bear treasure, while Kevin's own barracks is not scouted from GiveUAnxiety. And then a little bit of an explorer skirmish in the middle of the map. Cherokee Rifleman helping out as well. So Kevin's having to hightail out there, but both players are not looking to build another trading post. So actually, these 2 explorers fighting over each other is actually fairly inconsequential. It's if anything, it's draining APM from both players when the actual real meat of the match is that settler wagon shipments coming in at the exact same time. 2 Ulans and both players meeting right in the middle. And actually, having said that, though, you got Gentle Pete the Bear, 14 hand attack. It actually could come to this Cav fight and actually swing it. We have to say this could be quite huge.
This is super close, and both of the Ulans go down from both players just about the same exact time. It comes back to the Rifleman versus the Bear, but we see this Villager on the left coming forward from GiveUAnxiety. That's very interesting. I think he just had his waypoint from his TC all the way out there.
He's heard in the middle hunt, but GiveUAnxiety has not scouted his two side hunts in the corner, which both players have their hunts in the same relative location. So GiveUAnxiety a bit perplexed where his next hunts are. Surely he has this hunt on the right side scouted.
I would guess so. It's hard to know for sure though. Yeah, that's something I'd like to see. Okay, so there's a big difference. We have Dops out from 4 Dops versus 5 Dops, 2 Ulans from each player. 700 coins sent by GiveUAnxiety. On the other hand, we have 700 wood sent by KEVINITALIEN. 700 coin by GiveUAnxiety. I guess he's going to be going a lot of Dops. If the opponent's only... Okay, so we see KEVINITALIEN putting down a stable now too.
Yeah, the thing with this matchup, it's one of the strangest matchups you see. It used to be just pure cavalry semi-FF, but players started to include Doppelsonders in their Age 2 competition, and Doppelsonders, well, they beat Doppelsonders, they destroy Ulans, and crossbows you have to spend wood, and it's a bit awkward actually. So essentially, this matchup has now turned into a Dop face-off, and how do you even micro a Dop war? I just don't even know how you go about that. But GiveUAnxiety though, sends in 700 coin. It looks like he's trying to get the age up in. He's actually not making any more units behind this, but Kevin has... he's using more of his time in the second age to go for more Dop production and an aging up with the 700 coin behind us. But no, another 5 Dops in queue, and actually GiveUAnxiety going 700 coin at 3 Dops, and I really don't know what build is better here. It feels... Oh my god, big pickup over here. That is huge. That is honestly super huge. Those 3 Doppels just shredding those Ulans apart. And that is just how strong Doppel is on this matchup. Especially if GiveUAnxiety pushed out for this hunt and then left 2 Doppels here to guard.
Right. I think that was even 4 Dops picked up. I mean, 4 Ulans picked up. Really good play from GiveUAnxiety to do that in the midst of microing his middle army in the middle of the map. Picks up that TP with arguably the worst army, or certainly the army that you're going to age 3, so he's able to do more with less, if you will.
I've just clocked that Kevin has no trading post. He's still in the second age, clicking up now, I believe. Is he? No, he's got another 5 Dops in queue. Kevin's going all in Dops. He doesn't have a infantry card in the second age or the third age actually, which in a Dop mirror maybe hand infantry card could be quite useful. Dops coming out on 2 Ulans, but these 5 Dops being scouted by the GiveUAnxiety surely must know what's up. Seeing more Dops being produced from KEVINITALIEN, there's no way Kevin can age behind this, and this Doppelsonder army is marching across the map rather slowly, but these guys, if they clean up the Dop underneath from GiveUAnxiety, manage to pick off the Minutemen, could actually tear down the town centre before... okay, 1 shipment is on the way and should get out, but
these have a lot of siege. This is
these are so strong in siege combat, and even picking up a couple of houses will be strong here.
Yeah, for sure. They're actually very strong units. They're slow until they get upgrades. The 4.5 speed currently. That's a lot of Dops there. Oh, that's not the first shipment I would have sent versus that. But he pushes it away nonetheless. I think skirmishers that are used really well, I think, are ideal versus this many Dops.
Especially timing with the Minutemen skirmishers. This is going to be a great defend from GiveUAnxiety, but actually losing quite a few Ulans in the process. He'll trade that off. Kevin, though, having to age up behind this, and it felt like you're going for an all-in age 2, but aging behind this, it feels awkward. You have no trading post. You have no experience progression coming behind this. And... for all his critics, GiveUAnxiety is showing Kevin the German mirror, and he's a solid German player actually behind this. And again, 1 military shipment ahead in the third age, but with that XP progression as well. Okay, you lost 1 village and base. So what? you're pushing out with war wagons and skirmishers versus a slow, heavy infantry army from Kevin, and he has another shipment on the way. If he could get more coin in, GiveUAnxiety could send a merc shipment behind this, but it looks like he's sending another standard shipment behind, and he has...
Another villager goes down for GiveUAnxiety. He loses. KEVINITALIEN loses 1 Ulan in the process and HP on another. We do have the Dops defending. This is interesting. Only Dops currently for KEVINITALIEN. He has nothing in queue. What is he? He's going to H4. No, H3. Sorry, I thought he was already H3.
GiveUAnxiety though has just sent 1,000 wood, and okay, he's now going for the TP. Kevin is nowhere near because he can't contest the skirms and war wagons, but I don't really know what the army from where GiveUAnxiety kind of is. Sees that the native TP is going down for Kevin. Kevin's gone for the Cheyenne hunting grounds, but you know, coin mines. Remember, both players equal coin mines, but Kevin has no map presence. I feel that 1,000 wood is an opportunity for GiveUAnxiety to lose his position. If he had 8 skirms at this point and continued skirm batches instead of training another Doppelsonder, which is not upgraded to the veteran status, I feel that Kevin will be, well, out pretty much. But going for the TPs, and we'll have enough wood as well to go for the Cheyenne TP. Looks like he's going for stagecoach as well. His wood count's looking quite low. He's already gathered up that 1,000 wood, so I'm expecting the stagecoach coming from GiveUAnxiety. And if you can hold that trading line for maybe 2 or 3 passes through, GiveUAnxiety, that 1K wood shipment will have paid off. And actually just the TPs in itself and the XP from the stagecoach upgrade may give Anxiety another shipment on top of this, and will kind of help compensate that 1,000 wood shipments. And there you go, stagecoach is in. Anxiety will be sent this onto wood and coin, most likely. Probably sent into wood. Okay, misses that first wood pass there, but even coin at this point is absolutely fine because you're quite struggling to get mines, and Anxiety is nearly burning through this mine, and we'll move on to the next one soon.
Yeah, both players went out to their third mine at the same exact time. So this is interesting. We see an outpost to defend it from KEVINITALIEN. While on the other hand, no outpost out from GiveUAnxiety. A little bit of a difference there. But yeah, GiveUAnxiety up on shipments. He is a full shipment and a half up, it looks like. Yeah, this is... Okay, we'll look at the military units real quick. We see 19 skirmishers, 13 Dops, 5 Ulans, and 3 war wagons versus 5 skirmishers, 14 Dops, and 3 Ulans. Definitely a big favor over to GiveUAnxiety. He also has the military population lead, but those skirmishers are really effective in this matchup.
I just realised Kevin's got 40 pop to 34. That's not included in the train routes, of course. But GiveUAnxiety has lost 2 vills, as well as probably not training 6 vills, 5 vills. There's a period of time where he hasn't been training units, and he's down in Eco's results. So actually, it's not as one-sided as I thought it is. Kevin sending 1k coin to mass up full batches of war wagons and skirmishers. Okay, GiveUAnxiety has now sent the 8 skirms, but really... What I'm saying is GiveUAnxiety really didn't push out with that free war wagon advantage, and has kind of let Kevin come back into this one.
Yeah, a little bit for sure. Does have the trade post, so that I would say the advantage for economy, if you will, is a little bit in favor of GiveUAnxiety, but we do have a trade post that just went down for him, and he's pushing out now. I don't know why he chose to sit back so far when he was the first one to H3 by a long shot too, and you saw the opponent having only Dops, so as soon as you have enough skirmishers out, you can push out. You should push out.
Nice raid here from Kevin. I think Kevin realizes he's raiding at the moment, doesn't really want to take the engagement, especially raiding with 6 Ulans, 2 separate batches of 3. Yeah, he's just trying to run at this point. Like he's really kiting well. These war wagons, picking off 2 war wagons there and trying to retreat while picking up lots of villagers. And I'm surprised GiveUAnxiety is not going for this counter raid at the same time. We do see an outpost over here protecting these coin villies, but tin mine nearly out. We'll have to push on to another mine very soon.
Yeah, I like the choice to raid with Ulans in this position. You have you have Ulans that are really high attack, really low HP versus Dops versus War Wagons. They do not do well. They just, even against skirmishers and mass, they die pretty quickly. So I like the choice to raid with them a lot. Well done by KEVINITALIEN there.
GiveUAnxiety sending cavalry combat.
Hmm.
Okay. I'm not feeling that really.
No, I'm not either. Not with 4 War Wagons. Well, okay, he has a few more out. He has 8 out currently. The 3 Ulans that were shipped just came with the cavalry combat themselves. Yeah, but what else could he have sent? Let's see. He
has the 5 doppels. This is probably the only matchup we'd actually actively consider having your 5 doppelsunders in deck. I know a very few players regularly use that card. I'm not one of those players. It always feels like if you're trying doppels in a tight situation, but they do actually help out very well. But that cavalry combat, okay, your war wagons are stronger, but both army compositions are mainly skirmisher veteran doppelsunders. Kevin has quite a large mass of war wagons behind this, and I think Kevin's massive war wagons will outclass these upgraded war wagons from GiveUAnxiety. Kevin has 17 war wagons versus GiveUAnxiety's 8. Where is GiveUAnxiety's military population gone?
I have no idea. It is really important to note, yeah, the skirmishers, the Dops come in on the war wagons, and they push them back. But okay, Dops come out.
Skirmishers getting picked up. GiveUAnxiety is not coming back as skirmishers. You cannot lose your skirmisher in this type of engagement.
No.
More doppelsunders getting picked up by the Kevin's army, and it's just some solid micro from Kevin. He's just doing exact what he needs with his each unit's picking up quite a lot of war wagons there with his doppel swings. And look at the military unit stat now: 19 skirms, 16 war wagons for Kevin. GiveUAnxiety 14 skirms, 6 Ulans, 6 doppels, 3 war wagons. Just bits here and there, and Kevin's done it. Like he's really in a strong position now, and he's got so much wood in bank. I think Kevin's waiting for the Dog Soldier big button here from the Lakota natives.
GiveUAnxiety goes in. I think he might be calling it because he decided to engage, and I don't think he could have ever expected to win that fight. Yeah. Yeah, this matchup revolves so much around skirmishers. We see neither player sending. Why did he engage that? Did he? I was assuming it was just considering the match was over, and that's why he did.
Dog soldiers are in. Dog soldiers are about to pop out from the town center or the outpost. The outpost, they are on the field, and GiveUAnxiety. Well played, Kevin. I thought that was out there and then. GG. What can I say? That was really good. I enjoyed that one so much.
Yeah, that was wonderful. We can look at some of the games real quick. Go ahead and talk about the gameplay a little bit, and about post game and what you thought of that game, and I will get the recorded games set up.
Yeah. So straight away, I think the game really pivoted around that second stage play. GiveUAnxiety in the first stage getting that earlier TPs, they had the slightly bit more XP. The first 2 shipments in the second stage come out at the same time. GiveUAnxiety actually slightly delayed sending his 3 doppelsunders card, but making a few doppelsunders, actually taking down Kevin's trading post then, sending 3 doppels, picking up 4 or 5 Ulans from Kevin for really basically nothing there. Getting the safe age up, Kevin pushes in with his colonial doppelsunders, and GiveUAnxiety sends 3 war wagons, trains some skirms, calls Minutemen, but doesn't really pick off and capitalize his military strength at that point. Kevin sends 1,000 coin first off just to mass behind this, and he certainly massed plenty of war wagons. 8 skirm shipment came in afterwards to help deal with what GiveUAnxiety was doppelsunder mass was. 3 war wagons, and then cav combat came in quite late, but even when that cav combat came in after that big fight happened, still had about 14-15 war wagons, and Kevin came back through it with just better micro in the fights. When the big fights happened, that's when games are won and lost, and in German mirrors especially so. It's so volatile. Military unit population at the end. You can see when Kevin ages up, you're on the screen. If not,
I am now.
GiveUAnxiety is 50 to about 30 once Kevin gets to the third age. That's after losing units in GiveUAnxiety's base, but was allowed to breathe and remass. GiveUAnxiety sent 1,000 wood, and it's not a shipment you normally send in this situation. And then just Kevin was allowed to remass, and then microed, got a few raids in the villagers, villager counts. GiveUAnxiety didn't really train any vills in the third age, tried a few here and there, but was really focused on the military at that point and producing military units. But at the end, Kevin had so many more villager population from GiveUAnxiety, and that's how that military mass came in the favor of Kevin. Was just Kevin had the eco, and okay, there's a few TPs on route for GiveUAnxiety, but I think towards the end, okay, they were never contested, but it was quite close. That final fight, we just saw the Doppels tearing apart half those skirmishers. Skirmishers weren't kiting. War wagons hard to kite, but stopped. Lost 3 or 4 to the Doppelsonders there, and those Doppels trade off so well versus the skirms and war wagons behind it.
Yeah. Definitely unexpected. I think perhaps GiveUAnxiety was expecting Kevin to hit age 3 at any moment, but as soon as you see that many dops, I would feel like your opponent is not aging right away. You see all those dops, you clean it up, and you push home your advantage. I think that is what should have been done there. But excellent game. I am ready to go to the recorded game. I sent you it. Are you going to join me for this, Harrison?
I am not really because of the time on my side. That's actually fine. But with recorded game, it runs at different speeds on different PCs. So to make things kind of more synchronized, I'm just not going to attempt this kind of co-cast, and I'll leave you in the safe hands of yourself to cast this one by yourself.
Thank you. Thanks so much for joining, Harrison. This was a lot of fun to cast with you. I enjoyed it a lot.
Yeah, no worries. We eventually got around to casting with each other.
Yeah.
Stupid time zones. What can I say?
Yeah, I've been looking forward to the time when we could cast together. But yeah, excellent casting. Round of applause for Kevin there. I mean for Harrison there. Excellent matches. Definitely some of the best games I've seen in a lot of ways. Very exciting.
Cool. Anyway, one more game to go. Get on it, and I'll see you guys later. I'm out. Bye.
Catch you later, Harrison. All right, so we are going to get into the next game. It is going to be a recorded game between between KEVINITALIEN and GiveUAnxiety. This was their game number 1. We'll count it as our game number 5. Let's see. I'm going to update this just a little bit. There we go. Is it going to work? Not going to work. We'll turn Fog of War off. All right, and we will look at it from this perspective. All right. So this is game number 1 for us, game number 5 between KEVINITALIEN and GiveUAnxiety. It is a Spanish versus German matchup on Adirondacks. The map was a little bit more favored towards GiveUAnxiety with the hunts, but all in all, we'll see how it plays out. We're gonna unpause and see how it goes. Maybe I need to go to, here we go. I'm going to do view lock off. There we go. All right, so this is just how we're going to have to do it with a recorded game. Let me get it off of, there we go. All right, so both players going forward. It looks like it was a food start for them. We can look at both players. Looking at the treasures that were picked up, no treasures yet, I believe. No TP start. Neither player going for markets. Just a house out for both players. We have the TP that came out for GiveUAnxiety. So GiveUAnxiety in Spanish is going for a TP first. Pretty good move. Yeah. So TP first, and Spanish goes back when he gets underneath the TC. Why am I talking about this? So yeah, the GiveUAnxiety went for a TP as Germany. My apologies on that. It is Spanish that went with no TP start. Germany values the TPs a lot. Their shipments are worth more. You get them 1.14 times slower, or about basically 14% slower, I believe it is on EP. I could be wrong in that. Go ahead and correct me, and I'll read it out in chat. Looking at 2. There we go. Thank you, Harrison. Appreciate that. Appreciate that a lot. He told me to update the UI. I wasn't quite familiar. I have not done recorded games, so I appreciate that. Looking at the matchup, though, looking good. We'll go to shipment sent. And let me update this really quick. Sorry. Enable the minimized UI. And there we go. Close enough. I think. I hope. So looking at the treasures that came out, just a 30 coin and 50 coin by GiveUAnxiety. KEVINITALIEN taking a bear. Very, very good ones. We have a treasure, the Native American warrior being worked on by GiveUAnxiety. We'll see what happens here. Both players are working on a Native American warrior. Looking at the decks, we have more H2 cards than you would expect for an FF, but I mean both are obviously available. It does have ATP, has not used it yet. We're looking at GiveUAnxiety's deck. It's definitely more H3 focused. He has the 2 Settler Wagons in H2. He doesn't have 600 coin. But I think it's the same deck he actually used in the previous game, if you will. Looking good.
Hey, Gerald, have you checked the Discord?
Yep, I did. I
Awesome.
guess it just hasn't uploaded, but yeah. I believe it's all good to go. Let me know if it needs to be updated.
Yeah, I'll be back in a sec if it's not. Okay, cheers.
Yeah, thanks. All right, so looking at it, yeah, looking good. So we have KEVINITALIEN. He has he's been scouting. He's been forward the whole time. GiveUAnxiety has been more on the back foot, at least, not exploring what the opponents are doing as much. He's going. We can look at what was scouted, and you can see that KEVINITALIEN has just been forward the whole time, while GiveUAnxiety has been on sitting back with his explorer, not going out. That's partly due to the war dog that Spanish starts out with. Kind of gives him a bit of an advantage. We do see a trade post coming down. He sent ATP in transition. All right, so ATP coming down. He should be getting both of the trade posts. One thing that's really important to note on the ESOC patch, if you build on the native settlements, you get an XP trickle. I believe it's 0.7 times or 0.7 trickle. It was recently updated from 0.8, but yes, definitely ATP is nice. This map only has a few trade posts. You have the 3 along the trade route and then 2 natives, so not as much as some other maps, but it's really nice as Spanish. We'll see what he does. He is almost up to age 2. Germany, he sent 2 settler wagons as you expect. He has a shipment ready as soon as he hits age 2. We'll see what the players do from there. Yeah, exciting. And when it comes to age 2 fighting, I would probably give Spain a little bit of an advantage over Germany. They have pretty much they have the same units that Germany has, basically, with crossbow pike, and then Germany also has the Ulan. But Spanish have musketeers. The hussars are better than the Ulan, especially on EP, with the Ulan having a less base HP. So we have a outpost coming forward, the native warrior from GiveUAnxiety coming with it. I'm guessing he's just going to siege down the outpost spot as soon as it's started. We see the Spain coming forward with his units. That's let's see. It's not actually doing as much as I would have expected. Let's see the siege on it. 10 siege, so it's not a whole lot of siege. Looking at the German explorer, it's 18 siege for comparison. Yeah, so looking at it, we do not see the second or the first card that has been sent in Age 2 from either player yet. We will look at units in queue for you guys, leave it on there for a bit. A barracks is coming out for Germany. Looks like probably an FF from Spain. I like that choice. ATP into FF can be very, very strong. But Age 2, I feel like Spain has the advantage over Germany. Age 3, Germany, they don't have 2 falconets, so that's a huge difference. But they have pretty good units in Age 3. They also get better shipments, if you will, with the extra Ulan. We do have a raid coming in from the Ulans, and it looks like KEVINITALIEN brings his villagers back. I believe the outpost saw them, so brings his outlying villager back, and he keeps his villagers safe. This Tomahawk's just over here on 4 HP, checking the hunts, making sure that the opponents don't go there. 700 wood sent. He is aging to 3. Pretty good looking here. We do have the Tomahawk and the Explorer that comes over and does a little bit of damage to the Ulans. They are focusing the Explorer. I think I would have focused the Tomahawk there, but either way, focusing it down, trying to get some free XP, and the War Dogs pop. Those Ulans are going to be going down. They do go down. The Dops come out. So Dops forward from GiveUAnxiety. He is putting pressure onto the outpost. This is where you want to hit the villager or the barracks. Try to get it down before it goes up. That would be really, really nice. It looks like KEVINITALIEN was planning on going for barracks and for musketeers and falconets. We have the dogs coming forward. See what they do versus the Dops here. And some pretty decent damage, but Dops just have that area damage. They just clean up anything in melee. So nice pickup there. Yeah. So GiveUAnxiety cleans up the FB from KEVINITALIEN. He loses 2 Dops. We can look at units lost. He lost 2 Dops, 3 Ulans so far. But yeah, he's done a lot with those Dops. Really good start with the Dops. GiveUAnxiety still age 2 though. Look at units in queue. He is training more Dops. He should be able to get this outpost out. We'll see how this looks though. KEVINITALIEN, age 3 right now. There we go. Age 3 right now, and he ages up with a 4 Hussar. Looking good. Yeah, so looking at the deck from KEVINITALIEN, we'll see what he sends first. There's some options for sure. He sent 5 villagers in transition. You could also send Spanish gold if you're going more of an economic approach. The opponent has a little bit of, I wouldn't necessarily say map control, but doing a lot with the Dops on the outpost, the FB, the barracks that went down, also on the trade post there. So perhaps he's going to want to take back some control and get some military units out quickly. He could also go more of an economic approach. Rods. Okay. So rods, and I'm guessing he's going to send falconets then. I don't like rods versus Dops, but I do like rods with falconets. So pretty close there. Pretty interesting. We'll see what's actually picked up first. That Dop is going to need to go down ASAP. Dop's actually holding up better than I expected versus the... Sorry, the Rod's holding up better than I expected versus the Dops. But still, I mean, that was only 1 Dop and several Rods. Looking at the fight, it looks like the Ulan's just coming in, trying to harass the economy a bit. We see KEVINITALIEN pushing out. GiveUAnxiety is almost age 3. We'll see what he goes in age 3. He has a barracks and a stable out. Minutemen called. 1 villager does go down. Minutemen take out 1 Hussar, and they should do decent versus these Rods. Cav come back in. I don't think they're going to pick up a settler wagon though. Another settler wagon comes forward. That's going to go down if... Yeah, okay. He should have brought it back to the TC, I suppose. But yeah, that should go down. Yeah, does go down. Settler wagon picked up. That's some good economic damage from Kevin. Not losing too many units doing it, too. He keeps his trade post alive. He should be able to repair it before too long. So at the moment, we have map control over to KEVINITALIEN. We have the economy over to GiveUAnxiety, but it's pretty close. Military unit population 15 to 6. Not a whole lot to write home about. We have a barracks, a second barracks coming out though. It looks like it's just trying to go pure DOPS, pure rods versus Germany. That's interesting to me. You see the opponent already had some DOPS. I'm guessing he's not going to be expecting GiveUAnxiety to be going mini DOPS from now on, because I would give the hand over to the DOPS. The DOPS cost a lot more, 75 food, 125 coin, as opposed to the rods being, I believe it's 65 food, 35 coin. So it's definitely more expensive for the DOPS, but with the area damage and whatnot, they just do really well into it. Looking at the military unit composition from both players, though, we have 3 war wagons, 3 Uhlans, and 6 Minutemen out for GiveUAnxiety. On the other hand, 20 rods out from KEVINITALIEN. I wonder what he's going to follow this up with. He did send Spanish gold, 1,000 wood afterwards. He does have both of the trade posts, and he's Spain, so he's getting shipments really fast. On the other hand, we'll see what GiveUAnxiety does to respond to this. That's a whole lot of rods. He did see them. He did have the Ulan come in and go down. But so he did see how many rods that KEVINITALIEN has. Looking at the units in queue, we see 5 skirmishers were popped out by KEVINITALIEN, 2 falconets also. This is going to be a really important timing push. On the other hand, war wagons out from GiveUAnxiety. The rods do really well versus the war wagons. They have 6 speed. War wagons also have 6 speed. As soon as the rods close in, they're going to tear those war wagons up. So it doesn't look like GiveUAnxiety has much of a army to deal with this currently. Ulan's in the back just trying to get some rating, but big push out from KEVINITALIEN right now. It looks like a somewhat strong army, but it's somewhat weak army, but it's deceptively strong. The falconets with rods is a really good unit combination. It's really hard to counter it. If you go for like war wagon skirmishers, this army composition is just really, really good. It's 43 military unit population. The falconets are 5 population each, and the rods are 1 population each. But it's just really, really good. They complement each other really well. It looks like the villagers and the settler wagons coming forward. Jaegers popped from the TC of GiveUAnxiety. The war wagons coming forward, but being pushed back by the rods. The cannons do a good number on the Jaegers. A couple of Minutemen left. Looks like they're going to take down 1 falconet. That's nice, but losing settler wagons and villagers in the process. The rods get on top of the war wagons and just do a lot of work. Yeah, I just like it better from KEVINITALIEN. If you look at the economy, it's actually extremely close now after the economic units lost there. It looks like 2 villagers, 1 settler wagon went down. Not a whole lot, actually, but definitely some losses there. The Jaeger's very strong, but the falconet definitely stronger. And the skirmishers are not bad in and of themselves. It looks like we need some cav out from GiveUAnxiety. On the other hand, some rods coming forward from Kevin to make sure there's enough of a cavalry anti-cav there. The falconet coming forward, going to be pulled, I'm guessing, by the skirmishers. No, the skirmishers going to come up. It looks like the falconet will go down, and they all fire once more when it had really low HP there. The falconet did get 1 shot off, I believe, onto the Jaegers, so pretty close there. Looking around the map, we see GiveUAnxiety onto a new mine. This one just not safe. This one isn't really safe either, but KEVINITALIEN doesn't know that he's on it right now. So looking at it, we have rods and skirmishers now. Rods and skirmishers versus basically skirmishers and war wagons. That's interesting. Both the skirmishers do well versus the rods, but if the rods get in hand to hand versus skirmishers, they can do kind of bad. Rods are cheaper, a lot cheaper than war wagons. It kind of comes down to whether the rods get on top of the war wagons or not. Obviously, from a ranged advantage, the war wagons will have advantage over the rods not having any ranged attack themselves. But if the rods get on top of the war wagons, they'll be down almost instantly. They do have some melee resist, which is nice, but rods just have such a multiplier versus them. It's 3.5 times versus them, so it's pretty good. Low base attack to start with, but for their cost, they're very, very good versus goon type units. Looking good. Looks like we have a fight coming in here. It's 50 military unit population for Spain and 55 for GiveUAnxiety. We'll see exactly how this goes on. The rods are getting on top. One thing that is really nice about rods is that they can snare really well. That's a lot of skirmishers too. Skirmisher advantage over to KEVINITALIEN on top of that. The rods come back and try to deal with the Uhlans while keeping a few onto the war wagons. The skirmishers doing some work here. If KEVINITALIEN does win this fight, there is the villagers from GiveUAnxiety right there to be cleaned up. The skirmisher advantage is definitely over KEVINITALIEN. We'll look at military units so you can see that. It's 29 to 6. Definitely in favor of KEVINITALIEN in the skirmisher mass. We can look at units in queue real quick for you guys. It looks like just more rods coming out. 3 skirmishers, 1 war wagon in queue from Germany currently. Yeah, I like the position from Spain just a lot more right now. Pushing the villagers back, pushing the military back. He doesn't have a whole lot. He doesn't have much more room to retreat. The settler wagons come forward, try to soak up some damage, and try to do as much as they can for the army to fight. But that's not. You're losing. That's a lot of economy there. And he's not really doing a whole lot with his army in the meantime. Yeah, several settler wagons going down there. Few war wagons. It looks like the skirmishers and rods are going to clean up this fight. That's what I expect, at least. Lots of units being reinforced for GiveUAnxiety, but it might be too little too late. We do have some rods coming forward. That was a shipment from KEVINITALIEN. Just the rods and skirmishers, though, just really good unit composition here. Yeah. It looks like KEVINITALIEN is definitely pinched here a little bit, though. A lot of settler wagons went down, though. You look at the economy, it's 40 to 27. Huge favor for KEVINITALIEN at this point. If he doesn't lose too much more military, doesn't lose this game in the next few moments, he should probably win this game, I would expect, with that kind of a economy lead. We'll see what happens, though. Yeah, very, very, very close. There's not a whole lot of skirmishers out from KEVINITALIEN at the moment. A lot more skirmishers and even a Jaeger, 2 Jaegers left for GiveUAnxiety. 15 skirmishers versus 7. A lot of this matchup, or at least this army composition matchup, comes down to who has the skirmisher advantage. And GiveUAnxiety currently does, but he doesn't kite back super well. Skirmishers do well versus rods unless the rods are in hand-to-hand versus them. We'll see what happens with this match. I would expect the rods cleaning up the war wagons, but oh, the lancers come out. That is huge. They're going to clean up the skirmishers easily there. The war wagons kind of go down to the rods there, and that is going to be GiveUAnxiety's army cleaned up. We'll see what he does from this point on. It's looking like it's about the end of the recording. But yeah, GG, well played. So that gives KEVINITALIEN 4-1 over GiveUAnxiety in this matchup. It is in this match. Well played from both players. Some exciting gameplay. Some things we haven't quite seen before, like GiveUAnxiety's double racks auto Janissary push. Yeah.
Exciting to see. We'll change this to 4 for you guys, and that concludes our hypothetical game number 5 for this matchup. Thank you so much for tuning in, and thanks for the subs, for the follows, and thanks so much everyone for just all the support. That is Jailed Casting, KEVINITALIEN with CMC and GiveUAnxiety with Nilla Ninjas, KEVINITALIEN with Curasia Management Company. KEVINITALIEN taking it 4-1. This has been Jailed Casting, Harrison co-casting many of the games. Thanks so much. You guys have a good one, and I will catch you later.